The first UFC pay-per-view event of the year coming to you from the brand new state-of-the-art Intuit Dome in the City of Angels. UFC 311 card absolutely jam-packed with goodness, including a pair of title fights atop the card. Here is a live look at the weigh-in stage. 28 fighters in all set to weigh in, several of them, including the champs and the title challengers, scheduled to join us over the next 2 hours. Welcome to the official UFC 311 weigh-in show. As always, it is my pleasure to be joined by, for the first time ever, in the brand spanking new Intuit Dome. Look at this beautiful palace. It's Laura Sanko.
This place is gorgeous.
It's Chris Weidman, the former champ. It's the double champ. It's a brand new year. You're supposed to have a positive attitude. What's going on with the pillow?
Because I'm not as impressed as you guys. It's like, you guys always do that. It's like, come on, guys. Like, come on.
His emotional support pillow.
Well, it's just like, oh, we're in the beautiful Intuit.
Look at this
It's just
place.
another arena. I mean,
No, it's not.
Chris, are you really that in? Are you really that?
I will say, I don't usually.
Oh, so you're going to start acting like them. So you're just trying to fit in now.
I usually couldn't give a crap about an arena, but look at this place.
Well, you're actually
Jumbotron's going around the whole thing.
Wait,
got the lights on
Look
the
at
seats.
yourself up there, DC.
It's pretty
Look.
sick. Yeah, we look good.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is awesome.
Okay,
You
maybe
get it
it
now?
is nice. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
There's a ribbon similar to SoFi Stadium, which is just around the road, and you have DC's big fat face up there right now. They took it down, thank God.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that?
At least I'm not a liar about all the NIL money my son got to go to college. And then your son comes in and actually tells us the truth.
It's
You're
crazy.
a liar, dude.
That
Right,
is-
Chris? That was
is
bad,
crazy.
wasn't it?
He told us his
For
son was
40
making
minutes, he talked-
$100,000 salary
NIL.
as a junior.
This guy's a liar.
What was the real number?
There is no
Nothing.
No,
His
no,
son
no.
goes,
Don't
no,
get
that's not true. His own son goes,
He goes,
yeah, that's
Dad,
not true.
NIL money? Have you been stealing the money from your son?
So let me. We have a lot of levity on the show. We have a lot of fun. We have. It is not remiss on us what is going on in Los Angeles. Obviously, some terrible fires. I live here, 15 minutes away from the arena. We were talking about my son. 7 of his lacrosse teammates lost their homes.
Hey.
So
Hey.
we are certainly thinking about everybody who is in difficult situations right now. LA strong for sure. But we're going to have some fun on the show.
DC
and
doesn't
hopefully
have
for a few minutes they can forget about what's going on and have a little fun with us and get ready
Yeah.
for a big UFC 311 fight card that's coming up. As for the weigh-ins, they're going on from 9 to 11. All right, you got to be done by 11. Everybody, even the champions, can't weigh in after 11. So you have a 2-hour window here. Here's a look at the card. We're getting things kicked off on FX, ESPN Plus, and Fight Pass. Tagir Ulanbekov, an unbeaten Dana White Contender Series grad Clayton Carpenter getting this going. Then it's Japanese prospect Rini Nakamura facing Muin Gafurov. And it's a battle of ranked bantamweights. Karol Hossa and Eileen Perez, Zach Reese and Azamat Bekoyev making his UFC debut, rounding out the early prelims. The prelims on FX, ESPN Plus, and ESPN News. Grant Dawson and Diego Ferreira going at it. Top 10 heavyweight clash with Jailton Almeida and Sergey Spivak. That's going to be a good one. Rising superstar Peyton Talbot taking on Ioni Barcelos, and the main card is absolutely stacked. Starts 7 p.m. local time, of course, on pay-per-view. Kevin Holland, the Crime Stopper, taking on RDR. Top 10 lightweights, Beneil Dariush and Renato Moicano, Yuri Prochazka and Jamal Hill in a battle of former champions at light heavyweight, and then the co-main event. Defending his bantamweight title against Umar Nurmagomedov, it's Merab Dvalishvili, and of course, our main event, Islam Makhachev taking on Arman Tsarukyan. Let's bring in John Anik, the voice of the UFC. Johnny, good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the left coast all the way from Florida. Let's talk about this main event for a moment. What does Arman take away from that first fight, which was so long ago, if anything?
Well, not a ton, but you'd rather have felt the guy, I suppose, as opposed to the opposite, not having felt the guy. So I think there's some value to be gained, and I think the biggest value for Arman Tsarukyan is that Islam Makhachev went on to become an all-time great lightweight and didn't lose. So now you have this tremendous backdrop 5-6 years later when this opportunity materializes. You know, Arman Tsarukyan doesn't say a lot, as evidenced by the press conference, but he has left no stone unturned, as has been the case really throughout all of his training camps, and forged by another American top team camp. We'll see if he can spring what would be a pretty monumental upset here to kick off the new year.
Potentially a record 5 title fight wins for Islam. He's done seemingly as much as he could do to this point in his career. What drives this man at this point? You talk about Arman not being a man of many words. It seems like Islam, when he's not with DC, isn't a man of a whole lot of words either.
Well, if you take Islam at his word, I think what is driving him is becoming a double champion. And not that he wants to distance himself from Khabib Nurmagomedov. Certainly he can become, on paper, the most decorated lightweight champion of all time here on Saturday night. But one thing that Khabib Nurmagomedov did not accomplish, and one thing that very few individuals have accomplished, is realizing a title across 2 divisions. And potentially Islam could do that simultaneously. So I know that is something that is never far from mind, even if it's not front of mind this week. But as I sit here early 2025, Makhachev is the most well-rounded fighter in the sport, and I think it's going to take a pretty big effort from anybody at 55 to beat him.
Merab Dvalishvili, Umar Nurmagomedov. This is a fight that Merab didn't initially want to happen, was convinced to fight Umar. He doesn't feel like he deserves to be here. But listen, when you really look at Merab, right, he was 8 fights in before he got his first title fight. Umar, 6 fights in his UFC career before he gets his first title fight. Are you a little surprised that the champion is such a big underdog in this one?
Not necessarily surprised at the betting line. I think there are some factors there. The Nurmagomedov surname, the undefeated record, I think all of that plays into it. Also, maybe some of Merab Dvalishvili's pause in terms of accepting this fight seemingly on the challenger's calendar. You know, there are just a lot of layers to this fight. I think Umar maybe was a little bit surprised to see that he was so prohibitively favored. But as DC can attest, Umar Nurmagomedov is one of the most impressive individuals that I have ever come across. He is so smart. He's so intelligent, an absolute killer in there, and one of the more humble athletes that I have ever come across. So I think Umar does deserve the distinction as the betting favorite, and we'll see the extent to which he can put forth his best against a man who's won 11 in a row.
One of the best in the business, John Anik. I love the T-shirt.
Pretty good.
I don't ask you for much, but you know, maybe one more
That's a
sleeve
sick
T-shirt
shirt.
you could pass around to the
That's a
crew
sick
out
shirt.
here.
If you think, Hellcat, that I didn't bring one of these for you living here, of course I've got a baby blue one of these for you, buddy. It's in my backpack over there, and all of the proceeds from the posters of this will go to the rescue efforts here in Los Angeles.
Excellent job. I would expect nothing less. You are the man, John. You got to get to work. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Weigh-in set to start here in a matter of moments. And my producer, Zach Candido, just said in my ear that at 11 o'clock, top of the hour, 11 o'clock, here, local time on the Pacific Coast, we are going to have a very special announcement.
Oh.
He didn't tell me what it is. I have no idea, and normally he at least shares with me, but I don't know what this could be. Could it have something to do with DC?
I don't know. You'd think I would be in the loop on these things, but I am not.
I don't know.
I got no idea.
He's
Maybe it's a
acting,
big
acting
fight.
like he knows something.
I know.
You're
I
also
actually don't
acting
know
like
anything.
you know something.
Are you coming back for a big fight?
Yeah, right.
Heavyweight?
I'm toast bread,
Are
son.
you sure?
Nah, man. Maybe it's this.
I think you and I are the only schmucks that have no idea what's going on, because these two clearly.
I have no idea what's going on.
I got no idea.
I don't believe you for a second.
Well, Chris and
Look
I
at
are
you.
not fighting. I tell you that much.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, who knows? One of you's not fighting. We'll see. Big time announcement coming up
All right.
at 11 o'clock. Let's talk about this main event. Islam and Arman, neither one is a man of many words. This is going to be an absolute brawl. You know, I don't know, a year ago, you might have said the X factor was going to be striking. Some people believe that Arman may be a little more diverse striker, but you see Islam in his last fight, and certainly he looked very game on his feet. One of the most rapidly improving aspects of his game, DC.
Yeah, you know, he's a tremendous striker, and I think that is honestly what separates him from most of the Dagestani fighters, is he is more than capable of fighting on his feet for extended periods of time. But Tsarukyan is a guy that has all the types of skills that would seem to work against Islam Makhachev. You know, these two are so good, and Tsarukyan has proven so special, as we know Islam is, that it starts to bring up the question, if not Arman, who? Right? That is the danger in having a champion like Islam Makhachev with that skill set, because this is the guy that seems to have the skill set to match him and maybe, you know, take his crown. But if Arman doesn't, with all those same skills, who?
All right, Islam and Arman not ready to weigh in just yet. Remember, it is a 2-hour window from 9 to 11 o'clock. But Merab Dvalishvili, the bantamweight champ, is ready to weigh in, which starts in about 20 seconds. Umar Nurmagomedov, Merab, this is a fight we've been waiting a long time to see. Listen, his gas tank is endless, right? We've seen that dozens and dozens of times.
Yeah.
Umar is a tremendous, tremendous striker, but Sean O'Malley was a pretty good striker too, and we saw what Merab did to him.
I mean, I think you make a great point. Sean O'Malley is one of the best strikers in the division. It's not that Merab went out there and kickboxed with him, but he had enough understanding of the range to deal with the high-level striking of Sean O'Malley.
With one of the gentlemen around whom this fight card was built, the undisputed UFC bantamweight champion, Merab the Machine Dvalishvili.
Rob coming in for his first title defense, the Machine, really known for his cardio and his nonstop pressure. I mean, I've trained with this guy. There's nobody I've been around who trains harder. I mean, I've seen him spar 5 rounds, go outside the octagon, spar another 5 rounds, and leave the gym, travel an hour to spar another guy for 5 rounds. He's a complete freak. This fight means so much to him.
134.
Wow.
134, the official weight.
He makes the weight, and he makes the weight in an unusual way.
Old school.
You know, very old school. He keeps his weight very low, doesn't consume many calories throughout the week. It's kind of, you know, against common knowledge what you should do, but it's what works. But it works.
That's what
He has not eaten since Wednesday. He hasn't eaten since Wednesday morning.
and he looked great on the scale. He looked fantastic.
UFC lightweight champion and the pound-for-pound king, Islam Makhachev.
You know, for Islam Makhachev to be the second guy on the scale, there's always questions regarding the weight because he's such a big guy for the weight class. But he steps on the scale early. He gets down the weight, and he's lighter than 155, it looks like right now.
154 and a half.
154 and a half for the champion. This guy's the pound number fighter in the world. Very confident going into this city. Had a fantastic training camp out in Las Vegas. Things couldn't be better for Islam as he goes into title fight number 5. Which would be a record if he wins.
Next fighter to the scale, charged with kicking off the pay-per-view main card, making his 24th UFC appearance in the middleweight division, Kevin Trailblazer Holland.
Yeah, Kevin Holland, probably one of the most active fighters we've ever seen. Since 2018, he has 23 fights, which is crazy. He's got more fights than me. He's coming off a weird loss to Dolidze where he hurt his rib, you know, and the question with him is like his talent and you know, his well-roundedness, it's all there, but sometimes his focus, it seems to be the issue. He kind of like just takes the fight wherever the other guy wants to go. You could look at the Wonder Boy fight. There was talk before the fight where he told Wonder Boy he won't take him down. He was getting destroyed on the feet. And at one point, he got a takedown. Wonder Boy slipped. He gets on top of him and then lets him up.
Yeah,
it's not what your coaches would tell you to do, you know? And he ends up losing the fight, right?
What are they doing here?
He's got earrings in or something? What's going on?
Yeah,
why would they have to take out his earrings to weigh in?
So what do you guys think? Middleweight or welterweight for this guy? What do you think is best? I think he's had more welterweight fights, but
I enjoy him at 170 because he doesn't just get taken down and held down. I think that's one of the biggest issues is when he fights at 185, they're so big that if they can get him down, he struggles to get back up to his feet.
Yeah.
His length is one of his best assets, too, and he can use that a lot more at 170.
Yeah. It's funny, though. People just think of him as a striker.
183 and a half.
Oh, he's a great
183 and a half, the official
Great
weight for
submissions, man.
Kevin
Those
Holland.
Darce chokes he can hit that on anybody.
Yeah, those long arms.
Did you get some new tats
All right, next
in the new year?
I know he got a bull.
He
got a PBR bull.
He did get a bull, didn't
Oh,
he?
yeah. Well, at least he was thinking about it. I don't know if he got it.
We'll have to find out if he made that purchase.
Yeah. Carol Hoza coming off a nice win over Penny Kianzad when she fought her last August. You know, just the biggest thing for her is just finding that consistency. She's had some great performances, and then she'll maybe have a loss, but she actually switched up her camp, 135 and a half, moved to Sao Paulo, and is training at the GAEA Project, which is an all-female, non-for-profit team that she, Denise Gomes, and Jessica Andrade started to really help the female fighters in that area train some, you know, if you need to train for free, you can, and it's a very supportive environment for the female athlete.
UFC title shot, the number 2 ranked bantamweight contender, Umar Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, Umar Nurmagomedov has been he's been given this expectation of becoming the champion for a very long time. 135 for Umar, but he earned that. He earned that through his hard work, what he did in striking before he came to wrestling, before he came to mixed martial arts. This guy is a tremendous mixed martial artist, very well-rounded, and I believe that because he came here out of Muay Thai and then learned wrestling, it makes him even more dangerous because he isn't just the traditional Dagestani wrestler guy.
So the co-main is locked in. Merab has weighed in and Umar has weighed in. This is 37-year-old Brazilian Raoni Barcelos making his 12th UFC walk on Saturday against the super prospect Peyton Talbot. Barcelos coming off that third-round submission win over
135 and a half.
Christian
135.5.
Quinones last February in his only fight of 2024, coming off what he calls one of the best camps that he has ever had in Rio, and he believes his advantage lies in his experience.
Bantamweight division, Ricky Turcios.
Yeah, Ricky Turcios, he was the Ultimate Fighter 29 bantamweight winner, and he represented Team Volkanovski. He's got a very unique style. He is well-rounded. He's a Taekwondo black belt. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
136 for Ricky Turcios.
But I think what really sets him apart and his biggest advantages over people is just his very unique style. The way he bounces and moves on his feet is very different.
Turcios, a bantamweight. We're not going to have backups, by the way, for either title fight, bantamweight and lightweight. Perhaps it's because there's so many on this card. The co-main event is locked. Islam has weighed in, waiting on Arman Tsarukyan.
Got former light heavyweight champion Yuri Prochazka taking on Jamal Hill. Obviously, last time out, tough loss to Alex Pereira, but I feel like people are forgetting that he has only lost to Alex Pereira in the UFC. And before that fight, before the first fight rather, 11-fight finish streak for Yuri Prochazka. 10 knockouts, 1 submission. He is chaotic. He's a fascinating guy, and it sounds like he's really taken a step back after that last fight and made some big changes in his camp.
Looks big.
Looks good, man. Wow.
A big, strong boy.
All right, next fighter to the scale is his opponent.
It's Jamal Hill fighting out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. DC, you already know what it is. I'm on the golf course. I'm working on my swing. I'm making my bones in that. And you already know what happens whenever we get on the golf course together. Let's get it.
Jamal, everything you do, Jamal, everything he does, I'm on him. He can't play a video game, I'm on him. Basketball, I'm on him. Golf, I'm on him. I don't let him live.
No way you're on him in basketball.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I don't think you beat him in any of that, actually.
My boy Jamal. 205.5 for Jamal Hill. Phenomenal fighter. I love this kid. Calls me for advice time and time again, but I'm on your shit, Jamal. No matter what you're doing, basketball, golf, tennis, everything. I'm on.
You play more golf than anybody I know. And
He's never getting away from
Are you better than anybody
in golf? Everything.
In golf?
I beat you.
Yeah, right.
Here's my boy Bogdan Guskov. So I was helping Johnny Walker train to try and fight him. This man is a phenomenal boxer, big-time punching power, and he has this confidence about himself that he knows if he can land, he can put you out. That's what makes him special. And that is honestly 205.5. That is honestly what we spent most of the time on, getting close to him, staying connected, not allowing him to find the space that he can get to knock and land punches that can really hurt you. This guy's fun. He's exciting, and I'm excited to see what happens in this fight.
Number 7 ranked heavyweight in the world, the polar bear, Sergey Spivak.
Polar Bear taking a second to make his entrance. Making sure everything's set. Coming in having won 4 of his last 5, including a first-round armbar finish against Marcin Tybura in his last fight, which was in August. And that, of course, avenged his loss to Tybura back in 2020. DC, what's he doing back there?
Taking his time.
Let me tell you something, man. You always wait for the heavyweight. You wait for the heavyweight. Hey, you know what I did?
He's putting his pants on, so he's happy.
Can I tell you something I did to a heavyweight kid? So he's a big boy, and because he's in that odd phase of he's heavy, but he's not, like, muscular yet, and he's a little bit too young to go to high school, so you know how kids reclass now? I got him to reclass by telling him that every dual meet, at the end, he would walk out to Enter the Sandman, and that because, I said every match, you'll be Enter the Sandman. I go, and when you're the heavyweight champ, you get the girl. You can have a 115-pound girlfriend. He's like, Dad, I want to hold back.
What is wrong with you?
Dad, I'm in. I want to hold back.
In the last 4 years, Spivak has only lost 2 fights, to Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane. I mean, that's how good this guy is.
He's got the highest takedown accuracy in heavyweight history. DC, you fought at heavyweight.
I was not very accurate. I was missing punches left and right. I was just swinging.
Takedown accuracy.
The official weight for
He scored more takedowns than I did?
No, just accuracy. Maybe you were chaining more.
Yeah, I was. So every takedown is not intended to land.
Yeah.
All right, next fight.
233 pounds for the polar bear.
Bantamweight division, Bernardo Sopai.
This dude right here is.
The Lion King, 24 years old, from Albania, making his second UFC walk on Saturday. His debut came on 5 days' notice, didn't end as he would have hoped, so he's coming in with plenty of extra motivation. Trains primarily at All Stars in Sweden. He will be facing Ricky Turcios tomorrow night. The fight originally
135.
135, the official weight for
Scheduled for last November before Tercios pulled out with a medical issue, so he is preparing for this for quite some time.
Cool ink.
All right, next fighter to the scale, competing live on the pay-per-view main card, the number 10 ranked lightweight in the world, Renato Moicano.
Renato Money Moicano. This guy is definitely a fan favorite. He's got huge momentum. He's on a 4-fight win streak right now. Definitely coming off the biggest win of his career, getting a knockout over Benoit Saint-Denis. Completely dominated him, which was kind of shocking.
155.
155, the official weight
He's one of these
for
guys that
Renato
has that star
Moicano.
quality, really has a strong belief in himself, very confident, and he's very good everywhere.
I think it's
money.
interesting that he made championship weight just
Yeah, he said it. He told us that in the
really?
fighter meeting. He goes,
Weighing
if something was to happen, I want to try to make the scale. He goes, but if I'm dead, I'm not going to cut the extra pound, but I will.
I'll tell you what, he knows how to work the mic, too. Playing the crowd in the press conference, just going right at Gavin Newsom, coming out of the gate, throwing a bunch of money in the air.
That's a smart
Was that real
dude.
money he threw?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'd like to find that out.
This is Tagir Ulanbekov, another one of the guys that have trained
125 and a half.
125, Team
125
Khabib.
for Tagir
Look, this guy Tagir is a phenomenal wrestler. But again, as with Umar, he's another one that started with the striking. So you're starting to see more of the Dagestanis, not only just wrestling as a background, but striking as a background, so that when they do really lock into the wrestling, because in that region, you're never far away from it, right? But when you lock in on it and it becomes your focus, you become one of the best fighters in the world. And we see Tagir, another guy that's ranked in the world in the top 15.
All right, next woman up, the number 13 ranked bantamweight in the world, Eileen Perez.
So Eileen Perez, right? Everybody is drawn to Eileen Perez because she's fun. She dances. Marab said, "Can I touch?" Remember Marab?
that's the best.
Marab goes, "Can I touch this?"
That was great.
It was awesome, right?
It happened a couple times now.
Yes. But here's the problem. For all that, and all the focus that goes to that,
135.
135. She wins.
Yeah.
And she's really, really good. And she's mean as hell. And she beats the shit out of people.
Yeah.
She's physical. She's dominant. And if she can win this one, she really is on a short list of women that can actually challenge for a title or be in a contender's fight very quickly. So let's not focus too much on the butt shaking. This girl can fight.
She can do both.
Here's my buddy, my longtime teammate, Grant Dawson. How this guy is not ranked in the top 15 is absolutely beyond me.
Yeah.
12 UFC fights, only 1 loss. He's still sitting outside the top 15. I don't know if this fight will do it for him, but man, this kid is so good. Largest control time percentage in
Wait,
lightweight
since he lost to Bobby
history.
Green, he's won 2 in a row and he's still not back in the top 15? I don't know who does these rankings. You know what Dana
And
says, though?
he got a nice finish as well.
You know what Dana says about the rankings.
I don't necessarily disagree.
Well, you see Grant Dawson not ranked.
We got Zachary Reese here coming off 2 solid wins, including an insane 22nd knockout win over Julian Marquez last summer. Got another win after that. Man, this guy can thump. He can sub you up. Trains in Thailand as well as Austin, Texas, but he said he is never leaving Shiner, Texas. Population 2,069 people.
He got that white trash fighting style. He told
That's
us
what he
that-
said.
Yeah,
He's
he said
like,
it reminds
sometimes
him of
I
one of
fight white
them
trash.
Waffle House fights.
That would be my fighting style if I was a fighter.
Really, you're scrappy,
You
bro.
are
Oh,
the
you're
least
such a dude.
white trash
I know, dog.
person.
Shut up.
And coming from me, that's
Hey,
saying a
Laura,
lot.
listen.
You are the least
He's a country club fighter.
Yeah.
Exactly. We got Renner de Ritter here, the Dutch Knight. Usually when you think of 184 and a half, usually when you think of Dutch guys, you think of Dutch kickboxers. Not so much with Reiner de Ritter. Phenomenal submission artist. Very, very tricky off the ground.
Who I got?
You had Peyton Talbot. This is the guy you didn't know who he was like a year ago.
That's true.
Remember?
I never said
And I
that.
told you,
one.
I
You're the
tried
only
to
one.
express to you how good he was, and now I think you're a believer.
Hey, so yesterday we were in the fighter meeting, and I have this trick in the fighter meeting. When the fighter gets in there, I throw in one of their fights, so it's playing as we're talking to him. And Peyton Talbot's last fight, he lands a punch. And I had one of those audible reactions again, like I did at Octagon side. I was like, ooh. And he's like, what? I was like, yo, I just watched the fight again. I was like, that was sick. And he goes, you called the fight, dude. I was like, oh, I forgot about that, man. I was like, it was like the first time I saw it. But this is the type of kid, right? This kid, because of his ability, he makes you have those reactions, right? He is a tremendous striker, his boxing is so clean. He's so crisp and sharp. And he has that almost that youthful 135 and a half. He almost has that like new way of thinking that doesn't allow for him to understand what he's doing, and it lets him be free. He's an amazing fighter. And again, he's like the biggest favorite on the card.
Our pleasure now to be joined by the bantamweight champion of the world, Merab Dvalishvili, with the old-fashioned weight cut working to perfection again. I don't know how you do it, my brother. How you feeling?
Great. How are you guys?
We're very good. Thank you so much for coming on, especially right after you weighed in. Listen, I have watched this video of you going back to Georgia at least half a dozen times. Can you put into words what that feels like to go back to the homeland with the belt over your shoulder and everybody cheering your name?
That was amazing. Something I will never forget. My country always loves me, but that day when I go with my belt, that was something crazy. Like everybody wanted to jump on me, kiss me, or grab my hand, take a picture, and something beautiful experience I will never forget. And I wanna keep winning belts and go the same feeling again.
What's up, Merab? It's Weidman.
What's up, Weidman? How are you, my brother?
Doing good.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Hey, so one of the big things that Longo is talking about in this fight, because there's a lot of emotion involved with this one for you. I don't know if it's the Russian-Georgian thing or just the things that he said before this fight that kind of led that, to fruition. But do you feel like it's a negative for you to be emotion in there, to have emotion in there? Because I've seen you have emotion in fights before. It doesn't seem like that's an issue for you. It seems like it almost motivates you. Is it something that you feel like you have to try to get rid of that emotion before you go in there, or are you just going to go in there and if you have emotion, that's fine?
Chris, you know me like since 2014, I think almost 15 years now, and I don't have to hate nobody. Just I can always go and fight. Even my last fight against Sean O'Malley, I was smiling, kissing the guy. I don't have to hate nobody, and I wish I don't have any beef with him. But he was disrespecting me, and now he's saying he never disrespect me, and he's continue. Even yesterday, he was saying, "Oh, if you from Georgia, why you live in America, bro?" God bless America. I came here for work, and I'm working hard, and I am grateful for America. I pay taxes, and God bless America. I'm a good citizen, and I love living here. And Umar, he don't give a shit. He comes here, stays free with his manager's house, and then go in Dagestan, training's free, his cousin's gym. But unfortunately, I don't have a cousin that has a big gym like Khabib has in Dagestan, and here, I love training here in US and get better, and there is more opportunities here. And when I came with nothing, I was working construction, and I had money to pay my bills, and so he's still talking trash about me. Yesterday he make fun of me why I live in America if I'm Georgian, so like things like that. But I'm gonna move away all this disrespect, and I'll be professional tomorrow night, and I'm gonna show the world again. It's hard to move because I'm a human being and I have emotion. I'm a real guy, and it's hard, but I will move all this negative, all the drama tomorrow, and I will be focused for fight, and I will make you happy, brother.
I love it. I know you will.
Hey, Merab, it's after you said this, DC, so after you told Weidman, I met you in 2014, and almost 15 years. It feels like you and I went to the same math teacher, right? Because Merab, that was 10 years, man. That wasn't 15 years, Merab. But I love your math, man. Like, seriously, that was some crazy ass shit you just did there, Merab. Merab, listen, Merab, you haven't had much to eat in the last couple days, right? How do you fight that urge not to just kind of go, I want to eat, I want to eat, I want to eat? Now that you're able to take in as much as you want fluid-wise and with food, do you have a schedule on which you want to be taking in your food?
No, I trust UFC now. They just give me this some vitamins. They told me I have to finish this one in 15 minutes, and I will trust them. And I'm gonna drink this and another bottle like this. And after they also give me some good food, and I will trust them. I'm gonna eat this, and I'm good, man. I'm good, and I'm gonna keep snacking, and.
But you have a big meal, right? A couple big meals.
Yeah, UFC give us like UFC PI, give us good food, and so and then I'm good, man. Long as I can drink and I can eat now. I wasn't able to drink or eat last 2 days. I tell you yesterday, and now life is good again. The last night was longest night, I made weight last night and I had to wait, and that was longest night. I wasn't able to even I make 1 pound under. Still, I am a professional first. I never miss weight, and this is big for me. I got just 1 win just a couple minutes ago to make weight, and after I'm gonna focus little by little for the fight.
Merab, you were only 5 takedowns away from tying GSP's record for all-time takedowns. Is this the fight where you can break that record and be the first guy to push Umar Nurmagomedov in a way that he's never been pushed before? Are you that guy?
Good question, Laura, but I never try to focus on takedowns. This is automatically happen. If I break this record, I will be happy, but if not, like I say yesterday, I'm here for fight. I'm here to beat Umar Nurmagomedov, give him 1 loss, which he never got before, make him humble, and keep my belt, and make my team, my people happy, and inspire a lot of people, and make Umar Nurmagomedov humble, and inspire other people.
Merab, good luck on Saturday night here in Los Angeles. Thanks so much for joining us. A true professional, my friend.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yes, DC.
Oh, I'm not talking to you, Merab. I'm sorry. I was talking to someone else. Well, Merab is such a sweetheart. I didn't know you could see me. I thought I was off the screen. But Merab, you are a nice guy, man. I will see you for some yam kampame in Las Vegas.
And the best chances of anybody we've ever had, I think, so soon after a win.
Yeah, for sure.
Great, very thoughtful.
Thank you, Merab.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Impossible not to like that.
No, he's the best,
so
dude.
much energy. Oh,
No, he really is the best, bro.
A little bit.
One of the great guys.
Here's Clayton Carpenter. This kid is impressive. An undefeated 28-year-old prospect from Season 6 of the Contender Series. Trains with John Crouch's crew at MMA Lab in Arizona.
125 and a half.
125 and a half.
menace
Official weight for Clayton
on the
Carpenter.
ground. Both of his UFC wins coming by rear naked choke. Huge fight for him on Saturday. He's opening up the card against Tagir Ulanbekov. So it's a chance for him to jump into the rankings. Ulanbekov ranked 11th at flyweight. So you'd assume with the win, he'd be right there.
Boy, Benny D right there. Benil Dariush said, hey, man, I know people are ready to write me off. I've lost a couple fights in a row, but every time this has happened, I've gone on a long streak. He hasn't had an opportunity to fight for the belt yet, but he
155.
155. He feels like right now is the time for him to restart what he's done. One difference this time. Rafael Cordero will not be in his corner. He said the Tyson fight took so much out of Coach that he needed a little bit of time to reset.
Japan's Rinya Nakamura was an absolute savage on Road to UFC Season 1. Murdered his bracket. Round 1 key luck, round 1 TKO, round 1 knockout, and then boom, got the UFC contract. And since then, he has done nothing but deliver on the promises of those performances. He's 9-0 overall, 3-0 in the UFC. He was an under 23 world freestyle wrestling champion back in 2017. The kid can wrestle, he can crack, and he comes from a long lineage of MMA fighters.
All right, it is time now to bring in former light heavyweight champ Yuri Prochazka, who is looking a little different now that you've shaved your head. This is an awesome story, Yuri. Her name is Ashley McGarity. She was diagnosed with cancer, going through chemotherapy. She cut her head to look like you, had to eventually shave her head, and you did that in unison to support her. You've also flown her out here to watch the fight. Have you had a chance to see her yet? And just share with us a little bit about how this story came to fruition.
We didn't see each other yet, so she will come today. So I'm looking forward to meet her first time. I think she will come to the weigh-in, and yeah.
Well,
all these things, what we are doing around the fighting is have to be like everything have to bring positive energy. So this is all about it.
Well, and you are all about the positive energy. There's no doubt about that. Very commendable. And by the way, during the press conference, Dana White announced that he is matching your $50,000 donation. So that's $100,000 going to Ashley and her charity. That's just awesome. As for the fight, a couple of former champions, you and Jamal Hill, you guys have gone against the best of the best. For you, looking at his fighting style, the biggest challenge for you is what?
Biggest challenge. No, then I don't see like something. What's the like really dangerous, but he knows how to stay relaxed in the hard times, how to catch the target, and this is the main thing what I need to be, what I am looking for from every opponent. So yeah, this is his main things, and he knows how to go through the rounds. So yeah, he showed that with the Glover, but still he have just a few fights, like around 10 fights. So I think the skill is on my side, and I will use that this Saturday.
You know, Yuri, when you stepped on the scale today, you look bigger. Like, you look noticeably bigger. Have you done something different in the preparation and the training to put on what looks like some extra size? It looks like great size, but you look big on the scale this morning.
Yeah, I made many things from the start of the preparation. I started like really deeply to have, like I said, I started in October in Japan, the preparation, and through the November, December, I lifted more weights, so I felt like more stronger to use that in a wrestling and in a punches. So yeah, that's one of the abilities when I'm still building the strength and endurance. Yeah.
Yuri, speaking of that punch, right? It seems as though you and Jamal Hill have the type of style of a fight that will ensure that we see a lot of punches. Is it risky, though, to go into the fight with him? Does he have the ability to land one shot that could put you out? Because we know that you can do that to him, but does he have that ability? Is there danger in standing toe-to-toe with Jamal Hill like you did against Rakic?
Sure, man. This is, I think it's on the both side, this thing. So we have to be both careful in, like in heavyweight. It's about like not too many punches, not too many actions, but precise will win.
Yuri, this week you said that your goal was really to show people the very best version of yourself. What does that look like on Saturday night?
You will see that. That's something what I don't want to talk about. Just show that, because right now it's enough of talking. Still talking what I want to do, what I did, like a mistake with Alex or in the past fights and all these things. No, right here, right now, I'm going to show that.
Are there things that you can take away from his fight against Pereira that you have been able to study and pick up on, even though the fight was pretty short? Are there things that you saw in that performance?
Which one?
When Jamal fought Alex Pereira.
Yeah, sure, man. I saw that live. So what to say? What to say? He spoke like there was something unfair. You have to be uncontrolled, focused all the time. That's all. That's what I want to say. All of others nonsense.
Yuri, you're known for this calm and reflective, attitude, just very chill and very in touch with, your spiritual inner beings. How does that help you with the chaos during fight week and leading up to a fight?
This is essential for me because there is a lot of things what I need to handle in my life, around like a business, like a friends, like a family, and on the first place, the fighting. And this is something what I need to be, what I want to be focused for 200%. When I'm going to the training, when I'm going to the fight, there is nothing else. So you have to know how to step into this level of focus to push to that level when you can push yourself. So there is no then there is no limits, and this is something what I'm achieving by these meditations, by the keeping the calm in yourself, and this is why.
Yuri Prohaska, former light heavyweight champ. I wish you could bring some of that calm and spiritualness to our friend Daniel Cormier here on set, because he's the exact opposite of that. But we appreciate you, the true samurai spirit. Good luck on Saturday. This is going to be one of the best fights on the card.
Thank you. It is already here, everything. So you have to be just open.
It's easy.
You are here.
He makes it sound so
That's
easy.
my guy right
I love
there.
it.
That's my boy right there, Zin.
When you talk to him.
I know. I want to spend a day with Yuri. This is Billy Elikana. What a story. A 29-year-old father of two started training in mixed martial arts while he was recovering from a stabbing back in 2017. 8 years later, he's making his UFC debut. He's a late replacement for Johnny Walker. Got the call last Friday, and he'll be making his debut against the 13th ranked light heavyweight Bogdan Gustav. He's been a pro just about 3 years now, fighting mostly in LFA and PFL. Coming in on a 3-fight win streak is Billy Elikana. Looking forward to that. Can you imagine making your debut here in this building on a numbered fight card, UFC 311?
On short notice.
I don't think DC would care.
Well, I got to tell you something.
He's not impressed.
I got to tell you guys something. Yes, it's great. Now, Billy was, he works, right? And he was preparing for a fight earlier. He said that over the holidays, he was just really working. Dude said that in the last week that he got the fight, he had to go all in because he hadn't been in the gym since November.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
I know.
He told you
boy.
that?
But he said that he feels like he can go out there and get it done very fast. But
better.
he has to.
So his cardio is a little suspect.
That's a little bit of a concern for me. Yeah. Now, he said,
but maybe his
but
body
what do you
healed
have
up.
to do? What do you have to do when you get this opportunity? And he said that he's going to plan, and I'm not here to just be here. I want to win.
How long does it take to ramp up your cardio to be at a fight level? Is it a month? Is it 6 weeks?
6 weeks. But here's the problem.
I mean, if you're really out of shape, I feel like you need more than 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because things are going to happen.
Why are you looking at DC?
No, but here's the thing.
that?
Here's the thing. Like, it would take me longer than 6 weeks right now. But listen, in regards to training, you're always close enough to where it shouldn't take much longer than about 3 to 4 weeks.
Here's a look, guys, at who is yet to weigh in. Any concern here? I mean, we're not that far into it, right? We're only 33 minutes into it.
Yeah,
our
we got
window.
time.
concern.
I don't even worry. And honestly, I love YouTube. And when the big names are up there, I'm like, oh, man. I mean, the big numbers coming in.
I'm make some money.
I'm about to make some cash. But, these guys are making weight. They have to.
So no
You got
concern about
up
Armand.
there. Armand's up there.
I mean, Armand's up there, but he'll make the weight.
a
I don't worry about Armand Tsarukyan. This guy's he's
His
a pro.
body's looking pretty jacked and lean, but
Them
I
dude,
agree.
that dude,
He'll be
that
fine.
picture
I don't
was-
think he cuts
That had to be
weight
the
like-
lighting. That had to be the lighting for Armand to look like that.
That was some really good lighting.
Are we?
I think
let's
everybody in
not
the
have another
world-
Shavkat
This is
moment.
getting weird.
Listen,
I mean, come on, Senko.
if I'm going to talk about the male's physique in a complimentary way, I watch your YouTube. You probably said it too. Everyone was going on and on about
never
this
said
man's
nothing
body.
about that
I
man's
say it
body.
one time and it's like, oh, Laura's
She
being
talks about the rich guys like that. You see how she picks and chooses?
Oh, actually, back to that.
you wanna talk
Hey,
about that?
hey, you remember when he goes? You remember when he goes? I will fight you in the Waffle House like that. Like, hey, you remember? You know them old ass men back in the day when they grab a white cloth and say, "I challenge you to a duel." They start slapping each other. That's the shit y'all do, man. That's what
y'all?
where you're from? Y'all grab a white glove and say, "I'll challenge you to a duel."
That's just. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, he has. That's the only fight he's ever been in. Look at him.
It's like the
Look at
golf
him. He
glove.
wants to say yes.
No.
Challenge you to a
This
duel.
is so
Totally have.
ridiculous. So
That was
ridiculous.
You
rude.
slap him with the kerchief.
But that is an interesting
Kerchief.
thing to talk about, is that the fact that Arman, he comes from money. I don't think it's a secret, right? And then on the other side of the equation, you got Islam, who has sacrificed so much, leaving his family and not being around.
I just don't think that it matters with Arman Tsarukyan. The dude's a beast.
But he does it for fun. And
Really doesn't?
Yeah, he says he's done.
He doesn't need to do it.
He doesn't need to do
No.
it. He does it for fun. And Islam, it's like his life is on the line. Like, what is a better situation to be in? You know, the guy who's sacrificing everything and it
Are you
means
just going to
everything.
ignore our producers who have been telling us to
No,
move
but
on to
it's-
the next?
I haven't heard a thing.
It's
Might be broken.
It leads us directly into what our next conversation is going to be, which is most dominant MMA country, right? We could have two Russian champions when this thing is over on Saturday night, in Islam and Umar, who are both from the same team, which is just absolutely remarkable. You obviously know these guys very well. Russia is certainly making a name for itself across the UFC in nearly every single division. But is it the most dominant country in the UFC right now, DC?
I think honestly the dominant country conversation is pretty easy, right? Like Brazil has the champions. They got Pantoja, they got Pereira, and you think like, well, there could be two world champions from Russia, which makes us start to talk about it. Well, Brazil's got to, right? Then at 125, it's a Brazilian. 135, it's a Georgian. 45 is Spanish. 55 is a Russian. 70 is Bilal is American?
American.
Okay, so is Bilal American?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he represents America.
Okay, Bilal. Then you have 85. You have Dricus, who's South African or African. Pereira's Brazilian. Jones is American. So it's America or Brazil, right? Because they got the most champions. But when thinking Brazil, because I went Brazil, I'm thinking about Pantoja and Carvalho and Prates and Mauricio Rufy, and then all the way back to Anderson and Jose Aldo. It's been Brazil, and I think it still is Brazil.
I think when you look at the depth of the UFC and you look at the roster, there's no question that it's America.
Remember when we had all the champs? Yo, we had,
100%.
bro, we had like 6 of them, but we were rocking. I didn't want to just be that American guy, dog. I tried not to.
What did you think the
hang on.
All-American was going to say, by the way?
Hang on, but do you really think that America is not the most dominant in mixed martial
Right now-
arts?
right now,
with
I
the
think-
depth? Well, you're going to say we have more fighters in the UFC.
Yes, we have more fighters in the UFC. Obviously, we're
Per capita. Is that what you're
It's
saying?
stationed here.
Okay, can I just go? Because if it's per capita, it's Georgia.
Yeah.
You have Merab and you have Ilya, and I mean, I know he doesn't fly the flag. He's very Armenian, but
so you got two
Arman
fighters.
was born in Georgia.
Yeah.
They have a population of 11 million people, Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
The United States is.
That's
okay,
like LA.
I'm just saying.
It's like LA.
It's like
It's
LA
like-
in a country.
It's very impressive, but you can't come at America. America wins his hands.
I just wanted to have a really. I just wanted to have a really hipster
I honestly
take, and
don't-
was
I
really
honestly-
proud
you
of
guys
it,
are trying to be
proud of it.
hipsters.
That was a really
appreciate
good take,
that.
but honestly, I don't think it's as
Nobody
clear.
here believes. What Russia's doing is unbelievable. What Georgia's doing is unbelievable. Brazil has always been in the taking for championship belts. They at one point, I would probably say Brazil was the title holder as the most dominant in MMA, but that has kind of gone and
Well, we
passed a
have
while
Jones
ago.
and Bilal.
We have Jones and Bilal.
Those are our champions.
We have
But-
335 million people, and Georgia
Yeah, but
has
think about
11.
this. Yes, I get it, but think about this though, right? If
How about
we're
Russia?
talking, hey,
164 million.
but
We
there
have
are
100%
only,
of the Super Bowl champions.
but there are, yeah, we do. But there are
that also
only,
counts.
but there are only how many weight classes? 7? Are there 7 weight classes or 8?
I can't count that high.
I mean, somebody tell me how many weight classes.
Let's
And
say
if
8.
we have more people in the UFC, but we still only have 2 champions.
There's 8 weight classes, guys.
But we-
8 weight classes. We still
Eight
only
men's.
have 2 champions.
But also we also have, like, if you look at the top 15, it's like majority American, and
Thank
also
you. Thank
every
you.
single champion trains in the U.S. too.
So they're
it's
all
like,
American.
Oh, do you really count?
Yeah,
Like,
why
you
do they
know,
why
if
do they
you're
come to the
there?
U.S. to
What
train?
do you mean every single champion?
Not
Are you
everyone.
counting Islam?
Ilya Taporia does not
Okay,
train.
Umar,
Ilya Taporia
not
doesn't even
Ilya.
come here.
We're not saying every, the majority by
vast
a lot.
majority.
Well, he
The vast
literally said the
majority.
word every.
We're not saying every.
Yeah, we're not.
You
saying
can't prove I
every.
said that.
He
It's
literally
impossible.
said the word
As if there was a
every.
way. As if there was a way to find out. You get my point. Even if the champions that are from all over the place, they train here,
It is a good point.
count.
But
Dan Helly, what do you think?
so you can crap on it.
I think it's the U.S.
Really?
I
Hands
mean,
up?
I think it's a valid point.
If he's going to be honest.
Now's the best time to have that conversation, but I think it's more of a blip as opposed to like everyone's going to be rushing.
Let's
like
say
a moment in time. It's his moment in
it's like-
time.
it's a good time to have the conversation.
But
based on
like
what's
this will be the
championship
most
fight.
time.
Georgia
This will be
and
the
Russia.
most time that it'll be even where you could say it maybe isn't the United States.
Well, I mean, think about it.
Because-
Angalaev is probably next for Pereira.
Yep.
Shavkat, not Russian, but that region next
Yep.
for Bilal.
Kazakh?
Kazik, but pardon.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's rolling.
If
But
we
again,
could count the Caucasus region as a country, which obviously it's not, but if we could just say a region that's dominating, it's the Caucasus.
No, not dominating over the U.S. It's amazing what they're able to do. They have very tough dudes. But when you look at the number of Americans,
It's kind of the U.S. and everybody else,
it,
is what you're saying.
there's
traditionally
there's
it's
no
been
question.
America way up here, and then Brazil a distant second, and then whoever's third, it's kind of been a jumble. And now it's Russia in the jumble.
Come on, let's move on.
You know, the only thing better, guys, than watching the fights on Saturday nights is making some money in the process. It is time for our DraftKings Best Bet segment. Let's send it to our On the Line crew.
Thank you, guys. I'm with the Betting Sharps, the UFC On the Line crew. This is Best Bets presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. It's when we give you the best plays on the entire card at UFC 311. Yanni, what's your play here?
As efficient as the sports betting market is, there's always biases to take advantage of. And I think we have some recency bias when you're looking on the Jamal Hill and Yuri Prochazka fight, because you have Prochazka who's got one win since June of 2022. In fact, he's lost 2 of his last 3 fights, where Jamal Hill may be coming off that first-round loss to Alex Bejeda. But prior to that, he had won 4 straight fights. In fact, came out with 4 straight performance bonuses. You're usually asked to pay a premium to back a fighter like that, especially when they have a 7x advantage in strike differential per minute and a lot more power. At least that's what the knockdown ratio and rate tells me. Take Jamal Hill all day. Good up to -150. He's discounted right now.
Up to -150. Near a coin flip now. Nick, I'll let you have one word on Yanni's before you get to yours, but I know there's agreement there.
I absolutely love it. I gave out that bet as well. Yanni agrees with me. I think there is value there. Up to 150, maybe a little bit more than that. So if you're getting a coin flip type of fight, Yanni's definitely on the right track.
All right, Nick's going for a big plus money underdog. You're in the main event. Gotta love it. Arman Tsarukyan, you're getting 3-1 or thereabouts on your money for
There's
it.
just tremendous amount of value right now. The stock's never been higher for Makhachev. The guy's been performing out of this world. Again, he's getting all the respect from the bettors out there. He's going to be in everyone's parlays. It's just the auto lock of the weekend. But across from him, you have a guy like Arman Tsarukyan, which can match up excellent in every aspect of the fight game. He's got the wrestling, he's got the jiu-jitsu, and he's got the striking to match up really well. So I think it's Tsarukyan at plus 300-ish. You got to take it. It's a no-brainer.
Awesome. Back to you guys on the morning show. Dan Hellie and company, the crown is yours.
Fitzy, gentlemen, thank you very much. Always appreciate that insight. You know, we do have a lot of unusual characters in the UFC. One of them is on this card, Renato Moicano. So let's talk 3 most unusual characters in the UFC today. I guess we're starting with DC again. We always start with you for some reason.
Well, I got to be honest. For me, I like Marab. I think Marab's pretty funny. Marab's Instagram is pure comedy, guys. If you aren't following him, go and follow him. He rides horses. I saw him on vacation a few times with Aljo in like the Caribbean. He's amazing. Also, you see him like smacking ass.
Did you see him triangle Francie?
Yes,
the
did
woman
you
with
see
the
that?
large ass?
Yes, I saw him. But I saw him with another porn star, too.
When I was taught a triangle, was I supposed to shove that?
Rob is so crazy.
You got to pull the head. You got to pull the head
But not watch how he did it.
Rob is crazy, man.
It's like more of a catch wrestling style.
Okay,
A little bit.
Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker is number 2 for me. Dude, Johnny Walker came to Gilroy to wrestle. I drove up next to him one time, bro, and he's like got his music so loud with the windows down, just Brazilian music. I pull up and he's just dancing.
By himself.
By himself in the middle of Gilroy with all Mexicans. A Brazilian dude that's like 6'6", huge, dancing to Brazilian music in the middle of Gilroy. But he does it everywhere, even in walking to the octagon. And for me, number 1 is Yuri. Bro, Yuri is so crazy. I remember like interviewing Yuri, and he would just kind of sit there and he would go, and he's like this, and I this. And then I watched him when he was about to fight Pereira, and he's like doing shit like this. He's so weird. Yes. Yuri is my number 1. Before that Pereira fight, if you watch him in the corner before Pereira gets to the octagon, Yuri's doing some crazy stuff in there, man. It's awesome.
He thought Pereira was cheating with magic.
Yes.
Yes.
He said, he said, oh, did you see he tried to do it?
The black magic.
He said he tried to do it.
He was like, I want USADA to test him for magic. This is unfair. Is that a piss or blood test?
But Adesanya was backing him up on it. He actually believed the same thing. So I don't know. Maybe they're onto something.
Well, the guy just is he's winning so much that it makes no sense.
Yeah, 100%.
He does have a shaman. I mean, that is a fact. Anyway, he is my number 1 as well.
Yuri?
Yeah, I mean, the man locked himself in a dark room for 3 days and didn't eat just so he could I don't know, tackle his inner demons or whatever.
Don't we all want to do that, though? That's pretty
Can
cool.
you imagine DC without his phone for 3 days?
I just almost picked my phone up right now. I literally almost picked it up.
And I know, the moment I start talking, you just do
Because the camera goes to you, you know.
Number 2, Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell, I got in an elevator. I mean, we all know the wacky flat earth stuff, but I got in an elevator one time, and he was on the phone having the most heated conversation about how the sheriff wasn't investigating who poisoned his trees. And he was so pissed off because he found a hair, and it was a certain color of hair. He knows who poisoned those trees. And I was just like, this
That's crazy, man.
bizarre. This is amazing. Only Bryce Mitchell. But I get it. I wouldn't want anybody to poison my trees either. And then number 3, I love Peyton Talbot. But he makes me feel so uncool. It is unreal. I remember I was so excited because obviously I called his Contender Series fight, and then he makes his UFC debut, and we're doing fighter meetings, and I was just so excited to have him there. And I asked him the question. I was like, Peyton, what do you? Because he's unique, right? Like he's pole dancing on his Instagram. He's a skater. He's this. He's that.
Dude.
I was like, Peyton, what do you want the UFC fans to understand about you? And he just goes, I'm not meant to be understood. I'm meant to be observed. And I was like, yeah. You are.
Oh my God.
I have never felt so
I'm not even messing with
shut
that,
down,
man.
so
You gotta be like
uncool.
really smart or something.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that, man.
He is smart.
Hey, I'm not
He's
messing.
incredibly
Hey, let me tell you
intelligent.
something. I'm not messing with that. I'm not made to be
What,
understood.
the pole dancing?
What I ain't
Pole
pole
dance? Imagine on your Instagram I see you
He's
pole
so good
dancing.
at it. Can I tell you gotta find it, guys. He is so good at it.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'd rather watch him fight. Watch him fight.
I think I'd rather watch
I'd
him.
rather watch
Me
him
too.
fight
I'm
than pole
actually
dance.
not
I'm
gonna
being
go to
honest.
his
Sorry,
Instagram
Laura.
for that,
I'm
Rich.
gonna send it to you guys in the text chain.
All right, I'm going to start at 3. Tony Ferguson. I mean, let's
my
not
goodness,
forget.
yeah.
Do we get any more unusual than him? I mean, he's walking around with a tennis ball, bouncing around. He's got his wrestling shoes on. He's trying to sell things to people. I mean, he's just very, very unusual in so many ways. Number 2, I got Bryce Mitchell. I was with him for an extended period of time about 3 weeks ago, and I started just pegging him with questions. And, you know, it was funny, he's funny, he's funny. He believes in everything that he's saying. And then I hit him with the Elon Musk. What do you think of Elon Musk? And he got so loud and came in my face about it. Not like threatening or anything, but just full belief. I'm like, geez. I'm like, all right, you don't like him either. All right, on to the next one. And Yuri Prochazka. I mean, this guy, he started his camp in Japan, you know, with samurais to get ready for a UFC fight. This is unprecedented. This is something that maybe, you know, he wins the belt, you know, and people, he gets a big following. I think people are going to start maybe going to Japan and living that samurai life because it seems to be working for him.
You don't want Bryce coming in your face with stuff like that.
Yo, I'm like, I was like, this is awesome.
I'll be quick because my list is I think the same as Senko's, just numbered a little bit differently. Bryce Mitchell is the most lovable redneck in the world. He just is. Like, you listen to him talk about his conspiracy theories, and a lot of people that talk about that type of thing don't really believe what they're saying. He does believe the Earth is flat. Yeah. He does. He does believe that Elon is a Martian. I mean, all these things. He's a lunatic. Peyton Talbot and Yuri are the same but different because they're both so spiritual. I would just love to spend an entire day with each one, and we probably wouldn't say a word to each other, especially with Yuri. You know?
Yeah, what would you say? You
Be
hit him with a white glove?
I'd stop. What's the
He would actually,
He's like, Peyton, let's spar.
he's like, Peyton, let's spar.
I challenge you, sir.
Gets in a fencing stance.
Dad Helly would just
Pulls out. I feel like
he'd start blurting out just random shit because he'd be nervous. Like, I'm in here with an alpha male.
I can see you with the fencing sword walking around. You know.
You ever fenced? I bet you did.
You guys
you
are
a fencer?
so goddamn disrespectful.
Did you get,
RJ,
did
you're
you
up.
get NIL money from fencing? I can see that.
All right, my list is, you know, the 1 and 2, everybody, Bryce Mitchell, Yuri Prochazka. Yeah, let's get those 2 in a room. That'd be great. How about number 3? No one mentioned Jared Cannonier. That guy's a
Interesting.
$3 bill for
I
sure.
agree.
He is a little bit
He's got
different
the
guy.
Aura,
the stones.
energy, the stones.
Oh,
You
yeah,
talk to
forgot
him, and
about
it's
that.
like,
Though.
it's
I love it.
insightful, but
I love it.
just out of left field. He's my favorite $3 bill.
Yeah,
Jared
he is.
Cannonier.
Jared Cannonier is a little
He's a
different.
trip.
I love it.
Yeah.
Are we going to drink on this show?
Hey, let's drink this.
That's,
Actually, guys, let's
you
drink
crack it
this.
open?
That's a fantastic beverage right in front of you.
I haven't had this before.
Let's get Monaco.
Hard
dude,
lemonade?
Monaco.
is it alcohol?
Hey, Helly.
Yeah.
It is a great beverage. Can I get some ice with
Oh,
mine?
I thought it was.
Are you sponsored?
Huh?
What?
Yeah, he probably is. He's working with
I think I've seen this on his
Can I get some
Instagram.
ice? Can anybody give me a glass of ice? I like ice with my yak.
Monaco.
knockout punch.
Knockout
Pretty good.
Oh, I'll take
I
some
am
ice too,
also
please.
sponsorable, Monaco.
All right.
That is
Oh,
get
here we
really
go.
good
Here we go.
interaction.
Everybody. Follow
Or
my
DC right
Instagram
together.
page. Let's go. All right, which fighter? Rapid fire. All right, fast. That's quick.
Okay.
Weidman?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, what do we got?
Rapid fire. First question. Which fighter has the most to prove at UFC 311? Which fighter has the most to prove at UFC 311?
Oh, gosh. Umar Nurmagomedov.
Wow.
I'm going to say Jamal Hill. I think Jamal Hill has built up a lot of emotion from his loss to Pereira, and this is his fight back to show that he is the top caliber
That's a
fighter
good
that
one.
he thinks he is.
You put a lot of thought into that.
Yeah, it's really hard to
didn't,
go first
actually.
every single time.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Yuri. He has to prove that he still belongs. If he loses to Jamal Hill, he's only lost to Pereira. When you start losing to other people, the way people view you changes.
Can I change my answer to Yuri?
Sure. Yeah. All right. Why not?
Oh, you thought his answer was better than my answer?
Yeah, I did actually.
I liked your answer. All right, number 2, who ends up with the most accomplished career when it's all said and done? Khabib, Umar, Islam?
Right now I say Islam.
You want me to go?
Yeah,
I'm going with, Islam. I think Islam does it.
I think Islam has the ability to, but this is the conversation that these guys hate having.
Yeah.
They literally hate having this exact conversation.
Oh, I would hate it too. You being compared to your teammates.
The person
the
that
people you look up
literally
to.
I don't
elevates
think
you.
that they do that internally, though. I don't think they do it internally at all.
No.
I don't think it's even in their brain. It is so not a part of their culture.
doesn't matter.
There's no internal
Do
conflict.
people even ask him those questions?
Yes.
I feel
They
bad
do
asking
every
those
time.
questions.
Yeah.
Because Islam is starting to get close to like surpassing Khabib.
But you know what he says?
And he goes,
You know what he says, though, what I appreciate? He goes, there's one thing Khabib will have that I'll never have. 28-0, 29-0, whatever it is. I'm never going to have that. I'm never going to have
and
that.
that kind of ends your conversation. People just kind of stop because he just shuts it down. He does not want to have that conversation. I asked him the other day. He goes, don't want to really do that.
Yeah, why would he?
Well, Khabib retired. He's the Barry Sanders of the UFC. He retired on top, right?
Yeah.
He could have gone for another 5 years.
Well, here's the problem, right? Also with that, when you say that, it can always be twisted in words.
Yeah.
They put fucking headlines and it can all be misinterpreted. So, yeah, they just shut it down right away.
All right, big deal or no big deal, and this is what Merab has been harping on for the last few months. Umar only has one win over a top 5 bantamweight. That, of course, his last fight against Corey Sandhagen. Big deal or no big deal?
I mean, we're going to find out. We don't know. The answer is we don't know.
That's not
We
an
don't
answer.
know. Given his talent level, I'm going to say no big deal.
No, it's a big deal, and I understand why. Look at the people that Merab's already beat. You know, he beat Sean O'Malley, he beat Henry Cejudo, he beat Marlon Moraes, he beat Jose Aldo. This guy's gone through the who's who, and I feel like I'm missing one other big name there.
He beat a lot of them.
Yeah,
But he did that by choice. He did that by choice.
No, you have to.
He did that by choice
It's not
because
his choice.
because he did that by choice
By not
because
fighting
Aljo was
Aljo?
the champion and by not refusing to fight the champ because of the friendship, he fought all the best ones outside of that. He did that by choice.
I would say it's partly by choice and partly not by choice.
I think it was by choice, honestly. At least that's
took
my
the long
answer.
road.
He took the long road he had to. He would have had a title fight much earlier if he was willing to fight.
Are you You're not doing that to Cain Velasquez if you guys were both
Exactly. That's
heavyweight,
why
right?
I went down to 205.
Yeah.
But so for me, not a big deal because Islam went through kind of the same thing. Remember how hard it was for Islam to get a fight in the top 5? That I don't know who he beat before his championship opportunity. If I can remember, it wasn't like he beat Tony Ferguson when he was in the top 5 or Justin Gaethje or Dustin Poirier. I don't know who he beat. He beat Bobby Green right before he fought for a championship and Drew Dober right before that. So it's like they just have trouble getting those fights inside the top 5. So I don't think it's a big deal.
Petr Yan was who you left
Petr
out.
Yan. Yes, you're right.
Another former champion. All right, who lands more takedowns, Umar or Merab?
Ooh, I'm going to say Merab. I know that's kind of a hot take, but I actually think it'll be Merab.
Merab. Merab without a doubt.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
If there's takedowns being landed, I think Merab will initiate them and get them. Now, will Umar scramble on top at times? Yes. But I think the takedowns, initiation of the takedowns to completion, that'll land on Merab's side.
So does Merab have the best cardio in the UFC? And if not, who does?
1,000% yes. It is not even close.
Hands down. There's no questions. I've never seen anything like it at all.
Okay.
Who?
Okay. Listen, I'm not saying he doesn't, but there's a reason that he has. It's because he's the one always initiating the actions. When you have to go backwards, that's when you get tired. You know, in the beginning of your career, when you were the guy just taking people down and controlling them on the ground, you don't get as tired. That's why I always tried to just pressure me and Cain Velasquez. But the moment you start backing up is when you start to feel fatigue. Last fight against Sean O'Malley, I thought that was the tiredest we ever saw Merab.
true.
And that was because at times, Sean was able to back him up, defend takedowns, and not allow him to dictate to him.
Because he had to respect the power.
Because he had to respect the power, and because he did that, he would back up.
Yeah.
It's when you go backwards. The reason his cardio is so good is because he gets to go forward the whole
I
time.
think he was circling more than going backwards.
But yes,
I agree,
circling,
yeah.
yes, that's
It was
why.
a lot of footwork.
Buy or sell, one of the title fights ends in a knockout.
Buy.
Excuse me?
One of the title fights ends in a knockout.
If we're including ground and pound
Buy or
TKO.
sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sell.
Sell for me. If there's a finish, it'll be a submission.
Agree.
True or false, Jamal Hill versus Yuri Prochazka produces $50,000 for one of the fighters. In bonus money, obviously.
Yeah, I buy that. That's going to be a great fight.
Buy.
Produces a bonus instead?
If they get a knockout, it's going to produce a bonus.
No.
Why?
Okay.
Just because I think because Peyton Talbot's on the card and he somehow knocks people out in a spectacular fashion and they seem to like him, so he gets bonuses.
Yeah, but there's going to be 3 bonuses.
Yeah, there's going to be but it's all performance. Like I know it's all hidden.
Yeah.
I know it's all hidden, right? And it's not called knockout of the night or submission. It's still the same. They call it performance bonuses, but one goes to submission, one goes to a knockout, and one goes to the fight. I believe that Peyton Talbot's like a minus 1,200 favorite.
I agree. I think
he could do
it's
something crazy.
definitely
out there.
likely that he could get a great knockout, but there's just I'm just saying there's 3 bonuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy or sell, Renato Moicano will be a future title challenger.
Title challenger?
With his recent run.
I buy that. I absolutely buy that. I mean, the fact that he made championship weight today tells you where his mindset is.
Absolutely.
I think even though he's kind of like saying, I'm in it for the money, I don't care if I win or I lose, he's still a competitor and he's still damn talented.
I'm buying. The way he looked against Saint Denis, and then you flip-flop that fight and you watch Poirier versus Saint Denis, and it's like, wow, this guy is really coming to a different level.
I just don't think it's going to happen. Honestly, just don't think it's going to happen, especially like right now, because he's beaten some good guys. But we saw Benoit Saint-Denis lose to Dustin Poirier. It's not like he was unbeatable, right? And Renato Moicano has won some good fights. But it wasn't that long ago that we saw him get beat up by RDA. It was not that long ago. So I think he's going to have to do a little more to show me he deserves the championship chance.
What was that, 2021?
No, 23.
No.
Are you guys looking around at what's
Yes,
the lights
it's
and
kinda
what's
hard.
going on in
It's
here?
distracting.
It's hard
Very
to
cool.
dark.
We just went
Very
dark.
cool. Oh, they're programming the main event.
Yeah, they got the lights going on and off in here.
Very cool.
This place is sick.
Yeah.
Right, DC?
Can we please get back to rapid fire?
Rapid fire's over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's
Dang,
been
that
over.
was good. It was rapid.
Yeah. Is that too fast for you? Did you want to go one more?
Well, yeah, please.
Okay. All right.
Catch him off guard, though.
Better post-fight message: Dariush on Jesus or Moicano on the economy?
I am from the Midwest. I love me some Jesus, but I love Renato Moicano. I mean, he'll go full professor on you. He'll start talking about GDP and game theory, and the man really knows his economics.
I know.
He really knows his economics.
Talking about state taxes here in California.
Yeah.
I always got to go with Jesus, but the way Dariush will proclaim Jesus versus the way Renato Moicano talks money, but also talks Jesus, you got to
That's
go.
a good
You got to
point.
go
You got
Renato
Jesus and
Moicano.
money.
Yeah, Jesus and money.
Yeah, I like.
And his
Moicano.
energy levels are unbelievable. In those
I like them
post-fight
both with an
speeches.
entertainment value. Moicano with the money. Even yesterday in the fighter meeting, while he's cutting weight, he goes, I make the weight for the money. And if I'm champion, I hope they just give me more money. I hope they give me more money. It's all he cares about is money.
They would.
I just want more money.
Everybody wants more money. Peyton Talbot, the best UFC prospect since.
I'm making this noise because I remember now we got an email that we were supposed to.
You don't know the answer to this? I know
Yeah.
you're pretending. I know you're just, and then you're going to come up with this brilliant answer and act like you're super smart.
No, I forgot to prepare for this one.
Ooh.
Izzy. Since
Oh,
Izzy.
wow. Wow.
That's
Okay.
sad.
That's a good
That
one.
was sad. Sean O'Malley. That was more recent than
Yeah.
Izzy, so that'd be more recent as a star. And they also kind of remind me of each other. Very unique personalities.
He hates
They got
that
the same
comparison so
hairstyle.
much. Does he really? He hates
very
that
good,
comparison.
very good stand-up. Pretty slick.
But it
Still
is
haven't
hard
figured out the ground
135,
game,
same
how
weight
good
class.
they are.
Yeah.
Same weight class. There's a lot of comparisons. So yeah, I go with Sean O'Malley.
Very different
Peyton's got a
personalities.
good, Peyton's got a good ground game.
Hey, Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel. You remember when Bo Nickel was on the Contender Series? what people thought he would be, and he has proven to be already.
But he's still. But is he considered a prospect still? Is the question.
No, he's not a prospect anymore. He's going to get a bigger fight now. I mean, he just beat a dude that was ranked in the top 15 before.
Yeah, he's becoming a.
He's becoming actual like not.
Is he
one of
ranked
the
top 15
contenders? No, not yet. But he beat Jack Hermanson, right?
No.
Or did he beat Paul Craig?
No, Paul Craig.
Paul Craig at one point was ranked at 205 and beat Jamal Hill.
Yeah.
And he beat him.
And Ankalaev.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's the best prospect since Bo Nickel.
How long does it take him to get his striking game up to where it needs to be, though? Is that?
I don't think his striking is that bad. I mean, he just fought 15 minutes with a guy that was in the top 10 and beat him in every aspect of it.
No,
But he's-
Granted, it wasn't.
But he's not.
It wasn't as beautiful as people think. It wasn't bad. He just
But that's
barely
why.
started.
This is
bad.
why
No
I
one's saying
think.
it was bad.
This is why I think Bo Nickel is still a prospect because we give him grace on a fight like that because
Yeah.
it's against a guy who is experienced and he stood there for
So
3
you
rounds.
still think he's a prospect?
I still think he's a prospect because he's showing that he's getting comfortable standing up, and we got to see that in last fight. Did he
How
look?
close is he to the top 15? Do we have prospects in the top 15?
He's one fight away.
Do we
He's
have
one fight
prospects
away.
in the top 15? They
I
are
think-
prospects when they're ranked.
No, I think he's still not in the top 15, so that's why he's prospect.
If he's one away, man, I don't.
I don't know. I feel like you're not a contender until you're like top
7,
8,
6.
7.
Yeah.
Who gets the biggest pop on Saturday from the crowd?
Arman.
Yeah.
Arman Tsarukyan. I
Yeah.
mean, the Armenians are out.
Glendale.
in
I think it's
force.
the biggest population in the country of Armenians here in Los Angeles.
You know where they got a lot of Armenians? In Fresno, California. I don't know why in such a smaller town there's so many Armenian people in Fresno.
Big fighting community there.
Yeah.
All right, anytime Islam's on the card, it's always a good time to visit the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the UFC, right? So let's give that a shot here today. And once again, with the list, we start with DC.
Okay, guys, let's put that list up on the thing because for some reason you did not put mine in my folder. All right, at number 1, I have Islam. At number 2, I have John Jones. I have Alex Pereira. At number 3, I have Ilya. Number 4, and I have Pantoja at number 5. I know Pantoja doesn't get the love that he deserves. This dude's a savage, man. He's as good as they come. I think all the rest speak for themselves. Some people would put Jones at number 1 now that he's back active. But
you didn't.
But it's hard for me when they told me that the winner of the fight between Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski, who was number 1 pound-for-pound at the time, would be the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and then Islam won. So that makes him the pound-for-pound number 1 to me.
Is it hard for you because it's John Jones?
No, because I thought for a long time John Jones was the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. But I think that today, I mean, honestly, he fought wonderfully. But, I mean, again, Stipe looked like he literally wore concrete boots to the octagon. He didn't move. You got to move.
All right, listen, I actually love that you put Pantoja on there, and now I'm wishing I had.
You
So I'll
didn't?
give you that. But John Jones is number 1. He just is. The whole argument was that he can't be number 1 pound for pound because he's not active. Well, he's active now.
Exactly.
He beat the greatest heavyweight of all time. He did it fantastically. He did it devastatingly. He did it in classic John Jones fashion. Number 1 is John. Number 2 is Islam, right behind him.
That's
right
so
behind
crazy how
him.
you guys just... I don't know how you lose your spot when you don't lose.
And you put Bilal as number 5?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I agree with pretty much everything. I think 1 and 5 is probably the debatable one.
Yeah.
But John Jones, Islam, Alex Pereira, Ilya Topuria, and then I go with Merab. Merab, we went through his career and who he's already beat, and I feel like people aren't recognizing that.
Yeah.
If you look at the UFC rankings, they have Bilal at number 5. And if you look at the resumes and who they beat and the name recognition and the former champions, you got to go with Merab.
You know, you remember like last show? I don't know if we have the ability to do this, but we went to the truck and they were kind of incorporated into the show. Do we have that ability?
I don't know. I would
Because
assume
if
that
we
Zach
do,
would be
I would
talking.
love to hear who they have as number 1 pound for pound because these are smart guys. And I think my indication is that, yes, could you guys join in the truck? Because in the truck I hear that in the truck, the smartest guys in the room, they believe a certain Russian is number 1 pound for pound.
Really?
Guys, come in.
Zach Candido, what do you think? There's Zach in the back.
Oh, this is
Hi,
great.
guys.
You're on TV.
I did not want to participate in this.
Let's
go. You're forced.
But if you're asking me, Islam is the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world.
Above
Really?
John.
Yeah.
After everything John Jones has done throughout his whole
Thank you,
career,
guys.
remaining undefeated, winning in multiple weight classes, coming back and
they're-
beating with the greatest of all time at heavyweight, I don't really know. I love Islam. I think he's
I
so
love him
good. He's
too.
very
I love him
well-rounded,
too.
and he's proved a lot. But
Yeah.
Could he talk? Could he talk? Because he's only here for a couple minutes.
No, nobody cares what I say. It's 1A, 1B. I mean, There's no wrong answer here. It's a great time to be an MMA and UFC fan when you have, look at the list you guys are all producing. You can make an argument for all of them. So.
All right. Thank you, boss. Once again.
Thank you.
I'm right. I mean, I'm just always right.
Well, he actually made his list, so.
Once again, I'm always right.
It's 1A, 1B.
And I literally
they actually made their list, made your list for you.
And I'm the only one that put Pantoja on.
They do all your questions for you. You don't think I know why you get your homework done so fast? That they take care of you? They're like, oh, listen, you got to
Because I went to Oklahoma State and you went to Hofstra.
Hofstra University, School of Greatness, medical school.
Oklahoma State, the ag school, greatest ag school.
Medical
Hey,
school?
what about my ag school?
Listen, I love me.
Are we comparing
I'll be
Hofstra
throwing
and Oklahoma
pistols.
State to the finer institutions in the country?
Hang on a second. Does Hofstra even compare to Oklahoma State academically? There's no.
No, you guys don't.
Oklahoma State is pretty damn good.
Yep. See,
bro, the people that have gone to Oklahoma State that I know, they are not smart.
Hold on.
They're not smart. You know
it's
that.
It's easy to look up. They can look it up in the truck. It's all based on acceptance rate. All right, I'm just saying.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Tennessee. It's getting a lot harder these days.
Oh, yeah, right. This guy, letting anybody off the street at Tennessee.
Hey, it is getting a lot harder. I'm telling you.
And how expensive, I think, matters. Hofstra's like $80,000 a year. Oklahoma State's probably free.
We paid
$12,000 or something.
$3,000 in state back in the day. Today it's $25,000 in state. All right, let's get
There's
back
a lot
to
of people around the world that are waiting for my list, guys.
Oh, wait, you have a list?
Can we throw it up there, Zach? Yeah, I have a list. And John Jones is #1 on my list. I agree. It is a 1A, 1B situation. But the main argument is he hasn't been active. Sanko took the words right out of my mouth. Now he's active. Now he's fighting. I could see Islam up there, too. I also, Merab and Bilal are similar yet different type. I just feel like they're not respected like they should be for their talent because, of their fighting style. But I got Bilal in my top 5 to round things out. But 1 and 5 are kind of the biggest areas of controversy. But this is what I got.
You copied me.
I did. You guys know. Nobody knows better than DC, but I feel like I start with him on everything. Obviously, Khabib and Islam are connected at the hip, and they have been for a long time, right? Now, Khabib, after his tremendous undefeated championship reign, has retired, and since his father has passed, he's coaching all these future great Dagestani fighters. What does Islam have to do, going back to a previous conversation, to kind of surpass Merab in terms of their level of greatness?
Islam, not Merab.
Yeah.
Islam passed Khabib.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You going to me?
I'm going to you first. Yeah. No, let's start with DC first.
Okay.
We got to start with DC first.
For me, sorry guys, I'm getting a little under the weather.
Give him some of the Monaco.
It's helping. Guys, for me, obviously I said nobody likes to have this conversation internally, but if this is what we're doing, he's got to have more title defenses, which he will have if he wins this weekend, right? Because Khabib beat Gaethje, he beat Poirier, and he beat, was that it? Did he only defend twice after he beat
Three.
He beat Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Right?
him.
Which leads to my biggest factor. He needs a foil, right? In every movie, whether you're the good guy or the bad guy, the good guy has to vanquish that guy that elevates them. I believe that Khabib, if not for that fight with McGregor and the notoriety and everything that came with it, would not be this held in this high regard. Because then again, he would be another guy that defended the belt a couple times and walked away. I think he needs a Joker to his Batman. And I don't know that there's anyone out there right now for Islam Makhachev, because for as good as Arman Tsarukyan is, he doesn't carry the he doesn't have that cachet, right? He doesn't get people to come into the arena to watch no matter where he is. So more title defenses, and he's got to find that guy.
But what about moving up a weight class? Double champ.
To go fight a guy, look.
Well, the question was lightweight goes.
Does it affect your status as a lightweight?
Yes.
I mean, that's an interesting talk. Does it affect?
I truly believe he needs to defend that belt more. And then there needs to be someone that shows themselves as the villain.
But does getting a second belt affect your status as a GOAT in the other division?
No, you can't lose.
If we're limited,
it kind of did for BJ Penn.
If we're limited it to lightweight, right? It has to be done in lightweight. But if we're talking about what is Islam need to
legacy
do
in
to have a bigger legacy than Khabib, and he wins 2 belts, then I don't think win 2 belts and he's got a bigger legacy already.
Yeah.
The way I typically measure someone's greatness in a weight class is based on who has the most title defenses. So right now they both have 3. If Islam is able to win tomorrow night, he's going to have 4. So typically, he would, without a doubt, be the greatest of all time at lightweight. But because of what Khabib did, the fact that he was undefeated, because of the feud that he had with Conor McGregor, I do feel like there's that's kind of the elephant in the room that people are going to be thinking about. And to get over that, I think you have to win it not just 4 times, but 5,
He's got to defend his belt like 5, 6 times.
And if you don't do that, you need a feud with somebody. You need someone who's going to give him a tough fight where maybe it turns into a trilogy. It doesn't necessarily have to be the trash talk like Conor McGregor, but just a fight where
Remember,
people
we all
don't know
loved
what's gonna
Anderson.
happen.
We all loved Anderson. But everybody loved Anderson more when Chael Sonnen came around.
100%.
Yeah.
Right? And then everybody loved Anderson. Then you needed Anderson to get over.
You and John Jones?
Me and John Jones.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, they loved John Jones. He was a great fighter. But then his star rose whenever him and I had that thing. You got to have that thing in this game, man.
Helly and Brendan Fitzgerald. You got to have a rival.
No Helly and Luke Rockhold.
Oh boy, I feel like he's got to have more title defenses against real lightweights, because 2 of them, although they are against the greatest featherweight of all time, it's still against a featherweight. So if he can clean out the lightweight division even more. But here's the problem. To your point, to have that arch nemesis, to have that rivalry, it's outside of your control. And the other thing that's outside of his control that he will never be able to be, besides the perfection thing, he will never be first. Because Khabib was the first that created this new template for what it looks like to be a Russian wrestler in MMA.
And dominant.
He created a mold that now Umar and all these other guys coming up behind him are following in those footsteps. But Khabib was the first, and there's only one.
I think it's always going to be a problem because for so long, right? Even Khabib's father, before he passed away, the great Abdul Manap Nurmagomedov said, when Khabib is done, Islam will be the one to take the throne and carry it.
Yeah.
So it was always seemed as though he was going to be viewed as the little brother in the situation. And I think because it was presented like that to the world, he's going to have a little bit of a hard time escaping that.
I think he will surpass him in records. He will surpass him in title defenses.
But again,
can you ever really surpass the aura?
But Laura, what we said earlier, right? Like, and I want you guys to be honest, right? Arman Tsarukyan is a freaking beast. And he seems to be the guy that if Islam's going to drop that belt, and I mean, in the short time, it'll be to him. Who do you look down the line and go, man, I think this guy's beating Islam Makhachev? Dan Hooker? He beat him already. Gamrot?
Mataush?
Gamrot?
Maybe.
Gamrot just lost to Hooker.
I know.
Gaethje? Chandler? Poirier? I mean, it's like you start going, man, how long is this going to happen if it's not the guy that he's fighting this weekend, because the guy that he's fighting this weekend is so special?
It could be Topuria coming up, I think.
But again, but how long before Topuria should be able to come up, being that he only has 1 title defense?
Yeah.
Well, I think, he's got a couple fights down there, so.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a good point because it's a double-edged sword. Like, being in the wake of Khabib, you have access to more things, you're connected to him, you're immediately more popular, but then you're always in his shadow. So you have access to all these things that help you, but then how are you going to overcome him? So that's a big thing. I don't think, like you said, I don't think the aura of Khabib Islam could ever pass up. But as far as just X's and O's, who'd you beat and how, I think Arman, another contender, and he needs a name. Like, Khabib beating Conor.
He beat Dustin already, though.
He beat another name.
Right?
But also, how big was that
Charles.
Conor fight with everything?
Bro, Conor McGregor, I swear to God,
biggest UFC pay-per-view ever.
Khabib got like 8 million followers on Instagram overnight after the Conor McGregor fight. 8 million.
That's crazy.
That aura can't be beat. The aura can't.
Until there is another Conor to be beaten, and right now there just isn't. Right, and that's the rub. So you move up, or Ilya comes up. Like it doesn't. I mean, you look at the lightweight rankings.
Who would you choose outside of Arman Tsarukyan? Who would you choose to truly beat Makhachev outside of Arman Tsarukyan?
No one will be a favorite. Nobody would be a favorite.
The favorite, the spread gets bigger after the fight with Arman Tsarukyan if he wins.
There's just so many guys that have been around for so long that are such warriors, and Gaethje and Poirier and Holloway and Hooker.
And no one's on a run. That's the problem.
And you got to go down below Dory. You know, whether it's Hanada Moicano or, there's
Joel.
I mean, Benoit, Patty, Jalen Turner. There's really nobody in the division that you look at and say, yeah, he has a really
like
good
a new
shot.
blood too, like some fresh blood in there.
There's no Shavkat in that weight class.
I'm going to
who's on a
say,
weight
I might say homer take, but Grant Dawson, I know he's not even the top 15. That kid has more control
He does have,
time
but again,
than
when
even Islam does.
when Grant Dawson gets there, it'll feel like Arman Tsarukyan.
It will.
Right? It'll feel like Arman because Grant Dawson has that ability and that skill level that you go, okay, maybe him.
And you talk about.
But again, how long till Grant Dawson's there?
And we did just see Bobby Green not too long.
He's talking about bouncing quarters off his wife's ass. What more do you want?
That's true.
That is actually pretty
good. I'd like
That's
to see
a
more of
great
that.
story, right? But
Yeah,
if you do
no,
like
it's
you're
always a
bouncing,
great story.
bouncing off your wife's ass, but
Wish I could do that.
maybe they,
And here's the other thing that
bouncing off a stripper's ass. That's a great story.
Cody Ordukanian just said in my ear, he trains with Bilal. So moving up to fight Bilal, I don't think either one of them would really.
Well,
maybe
Bilal
be-
kind of snuffed that out right away. Bilal was like, eh.
But Islam has
What do you mean?
opened
Like
that
he'll
door.
do it or not?
Bilal was like, we don't really want to do that. So here we go. We got Azamat Makhachev. Azamat Makhachev. I think.
Makhachev.
John's got to tell me how to say that tomorrow night. But for Azamat, this guy's story is something else, man. He was winning, and the UFC kept telling him he needed a knockout. 185 or a finish.
185 and a half.
This guy would park himself outside of the hotel to try to catch Mick Maynard. He waited till 1 a.m. one night trying to catch Mick Maynard. He finally caught Mick at some point. I got to finish Mick. Mick goes, okay, you're in. The next time somebody needs a short-nosed opponent, you'll be first. And that's how he got here. That's how he got here. Jailton Almeida. Jailton's fighting at heavyweight, right? Yes.
Yes.
Jailton Almeida, for a while, we thought he may go down to 205 at some point. That's why I asked. But fighting at heavyweight, has tremendous grappling. He needs to...
235.
235 for Jailton. Jailton Almeida made a lot of mistakes against Curtis Blades. But he was fighting well. But I think because he had so much success getting takedowns early, he forced him. And by forcing him, he got so tired that Curtis Blade got at him. I hope that in the time away, he's been able to kind of settle himself. Because he looked like a guy that could challenge for a world championship. But I don't know what happens now that he's trying to get everything back right.
You think he could make light heavyweight easily?
I mean, 235, he looks pretty ripped. I mean, he said he was in the beginning, he said he was going to heavyweight and he may go back down. But then when he found all that success at heavyweight, he just stayed.
Yeah.
And I think now he realizes that it's just a much easier weight class to fight in.
Weight-wise, I don't think it would be that big of a deal. I mean, you look at Jamal Hill. I seen him like 2 months ago. The guy's like almost 260.
Yeah.
And he gets down. So it's possible.
Certainly doable. They have different body types, just a little bit, though. I mean,
that's true.
We are one of the fastest growing global sports
yeah, we are.
and promotions in the world, the UFC is. There are fighters from 10 different countries on this card, so we're going to play a little game of Guess the Flag. Ooh. You guys, this is going to be interesting.
I'm the All-American.
We're going to test Hofstra, and we're going to test Oklahoma State. Luckily, Tennessee's not going to be tested.
William Jewell College.
And William Jewell College.
William Jewell.
Okay.
That sounds like a rich school, too.
Well, of course, naturally.
Yes.
A little bit.
All right, William
Not
Jewell
exactly
College.
A sports powerhouse.
Hey, Zach, check my text message.
All right, you guys ready? Guess the flag?
Teach.
Yep.
Zach, don't give him any answers.
All right, 10 fighters from different foreign countries on this card other than the United States. And this is an easy one, guys.
Canada.
I hope you
I
all
don't know.
get
I
it.
think I might be wrong.
Oh my God, Chris!
Wow.
Hofstra!
Wow, Hofstra.
I didn't do good in school, guys.
Wow.
You're fired.
All right.
Wrong.
This, of course,
I'm not looking. I'm just writing it.
is the country of
I actually got
Eileen
that one.
Perez. That is Argentina. Everybody
Chris
gets it
cheated,
right.
man.
No, I did not.
All right, number 3. I don't think that's easy, but I do predict that all you guys are going to get it.
Everyone in this room.
Chris doesn't
is
get
now
it. It's
dumber
like the most
for having
effed up
listened
thing
to
ever.
it.
I'm not
They
putting
told me to. Wait. Oh.
All right, Georgia. Merab Dwalishvili.
What is going on?
Yeah, this is.
Wait, because this one's
I'm wrong,
This
but
is a
I'm
little
doing it
bit-
anyway.
It's a little bit tricky because
yeah.
he doesn't live there full time.
Oh, we're doing off the.
That is Iran.
Oh, I got it.
I thought it might be Iran, but it kind of.
Let's go. I'm tied up.
Iran and Tajikistan looks
laughing
the
at
same.
me about China.
It really does.
Doesn't it? Okay,
Yeah,
I
it kind of
can
looks a
let
lot.
you
It
know.
looks a
Thank
lot
you.
alike.
Thank you, DC.
This is another one that should be pretty easy.
Bunch of noobs.
Turn him, Russia.
I really wanted Chris to say
This ball Weidman goes. This ball Weidman goes bunch of noobs because he got.
Yeah, I got one you guys didn't. Wait,
All right.
are we going?
Next up.
Wait, guys. Wait.
Wait, is this the one we're doing?
This is the next one.
Don't
Oh, I
feel
got
right about this.
Wait, stop, guys. Don't go yet.
No,
because
you-
I'm trying to.
Oh.
Gotta dig deep. Inner spirit.
This is a tough one.
I think
This is
I
a
know.
tough one. Oh.
Poland.
Is it?
Yuri Prohaska.
Yes. Yes.
I had Poland and I
Damn it. Come on. This one's a
All right,
waste.
easy. Everybody gets this one. Just turn them.
I'm not even worried about DC
automatic.
cheating on this one.
That is Sonata Moicano, who is from Brazil. All right. This is an interesting one. Can I give him a hint?
Yeah, please. Hint.
RDR.
Why did you just do that? I was going to be the only one that got this.
RDR. The guy?
I'm getting yelled at because my hint was too
Why
good.
did you do that? I'm so mad.
Oh, I got
right
it. Shit.
now.
So they still
I
didn't
got
get
it,
it.
I
Neither
got
one
it.
still got it.
Dutch does not count.
Dutch counts. It's the nationality of the people.
I went Denmark. Is Denmark?
No, it's the
he's out.
Netherlands.
He's out.
See, I
All right,
told you
good.
I
still
thought it was
wouldn't get it.
Denmark.
Oh, I got that.
Oh, we're all tied up at 6. Somebody get a right answer. We need those off the screen quickly.
Let me show you.
All right. 2 more. Uzbekistan.
Damn it!
Bogdan Guska.
I got the stand right.
Nobody got anything. Nobody didn't get it.
Oh, this is crazy.
Ooh, one more.
Wait.
Oh, this is us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like Mexico. Say Mexico.
Oh, actually, I
Chris.
know this one.
Yeah, just not
Yeah.
without the crown of the stars. Tajikistan.
Let's go! Let's go!
Damn it, Weidman.
Yes!
Let's go!
You got
Is it over?
Japan wrong.
Let's go!
He got Japan wrong.
Yeah,
man.
you guys laughed at me. Hofstra, baby.
There's no
Hofstra,
way.
school greatness. I love you.
Hey, they're actually telling him
There's
They
no.
didn't
the
tell me
fact that
anything.
he got Japan
Every
wrong and he got
way.
Tajikistan.
I wanted to give you guys a chance.
And then
Bro,
they gave him.
I didn't start off strong, but I finished strong. Let's go.
Dang it.
There we go.
All right.
No
All right.
way.
We're going to do a little spin.
I'm all hot and bothered.
Or
off the
you're
butt?
doing a spin. No, the spin. Who's spinning the wheel?
We're
Oh,
not doing the wheel.
I'm spinning.
All that's a fake belt.
All right, Mackenzie Pavicic
real.
is in the house.
Oh, you're so mad.
And
I
that
beat you on
generally means
That's the only chance of
food.
the smart people games.
I hope
I know.
you visited
Hey.
one of the so many great restaurants in LA. I can't wait to hear all about it.
There are so many great restaurants in LA, but as the champion Islam Makhachev has said a couple of times, and as we saw at yesterday's press conference, although this fight is in Los Angeles, it feels a bit like we're in Armenia. So I had to take this opportunity to dive into the culture and the food of the challenger Arman Tsarukyan. So we found our way to Hollywood Marouche. Well, here in Los Angeles, there is so much incredible food, but Hollywood Marouche has withstood the test of time for the last 4 decades. Sam, what is it that keeps people coming back for more?
It's our signature dishes, like our shish kebabs, as well as our famous dips.
Well, my favorite part of Fight Week is coming in and learning how to make some of these things. Are you willing to teach me?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, now, back behind the grill, and I know we can call all of these kebabs, but they each look special in their own individual ways. So can you walk me through what each of them are?
Yeah, absolutely. So under the general term of kebabs, they're all kebabs here on the grill. The distinction being that these here, the lamb shish kebab, the filet mignon shish kebab, and the chicken breast shish kebab. Now these, the long pieces, these are the minced ground meat, known as the lule kebab. We Armenians like to refer to. It's also known as the kafta kebab in Arabic, and then Persians refer to it as kubide, but this here is the lule kebab. And as far as the lules go, usually you want to rotate them every so often. It gives it an equal burn and makes it juicier, so to speak.
Well, these look incredible, and I can't wait to try them. But I know we also have some shawarma, so will you take me over and show me what we have?
Of course.
Thank you. So this chicken shawarma has been cooking here for how long?
For about 20 to 30 minutes.
That looks amazing. It smells amazing. I wish you guys could smell what I do. Can I take a bite of it?
Oh.
I know we're not at a table, but it's really just calling to me.
Yeah.
Perfectly cooked, thank you. I'm just gonna use my hands because my manners are gone. Oh my goodness. That is incredible.
If you think that's quite delicious, wait till you try the full dining experience here at Hollywood Marouche.
Oh my gosh, I would love it. Shall we?
Of course.
Well, finally, after a true labor of love, we have this beautiful feast, and I can't wait to dig in. So let's do it. And while I get to that, I think it's so fitting that we get to have this meal here in Los Angeles because, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are more Armenians living here in Los Angeles than in the motherland itself. And Los
That
Angeles
is correct, yes.
has the second largest population of Armenians in the world.
So that is the Monty. They are beef dumplings made with labor of love.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Then what's your favorite way? Is it usually family style?
Friends and family style, yes.
Family
You get
style.
to indulge and enjoy a little bit of everything.
Okay,
This here
beautiful.
is the sarma, as we call it. It's best consumed a bit chilled.
We were talking too earlier about how even the hummus is made not from canned chickpeas, but from chickpeas
Correct.
that are soaked yourself
Yes,
here.
so everything is done from scratch. The chickpeas are soaked overnight. The baba ganoush is grilled every morning, and then it's meticulously peeled. Hence, you can most likely taste the authenticity of the cuisine as well as its flavors.
And the love, I think.
What do you think, Mackenzie?
So good. The dumplings have caught my eye. Because Guy Fieri was a fan of these, yeah?
He was, yeah.
I don't think I could pick a single star of the show.
No.
I really don't. And speaking of stars of the show, on Saturday night, UFC 311, we'll see Arman Tsarukyan
Yes.
fighting.
Fellow Armenian, Arman Tsarukyan.
Yeah.
That's a tough call. I like both fighters. Experience is probably on the side of Islam, but Arman Tsarukyan has put in countless hours, blood, sweat, and tears. He is the hungry lion, so to speak, going into this fight. So my heart is with Arman Tsarukyan.
Okay, incredible. Well, thank you so much for your hospitality. And speaking of hungry lions, I think I have an idea of someone who might be a little hungry and would be very interested in this spread that we have here.
This is really good. I've never had it.
You've never had hummus?
Well, a mark of a
Hummus is
successful
really good.
segment is that everyone has already started
I
out.
know, right?
I'm sorry, I
It's
got really
delicious.
excited and I totally cut you off there. Hollywood Marouche.
Oh my God.
You were just saying, DC, that hummus is what?
I've never
The
had
greatest
hummus
thing?
in
You
my
never
life.
had
It's
hummus?
so good.
Well, this is the time to
What
do
is it?
That's gonna get you healthy. You
Well,
should start
Sam-
doing hummus more often.
This hummus
chickpeas.
is
Hummus and
special, though.
carrots,
Sam,
maybe.
walk us
So
through
good.
how this hummus is made.
Well, it's soaked overnight, raw chickpeas. That's the first step. And then the following morning, they just get to work. They grind it, they ground it, and nothing short of labor of love.
At some point, could you guys not be just pigs?
What do you mean?
You guys are fucking.
I know,
dipping
Helly's
your-
double dipping.
Dude,
Well,
what the
listen,
fuck?
double
it's
dipping.
really
This is
good.
so good. Sam, this is
This
unbelievable.
is very good.
So the one
Wow.
thing that we didn't really get to cover in the segment that I thought was really incredible and it really tied into how this tastes like a home-cooked meal. If you go in to Marouche, it's very welcoming, feels like you're sitting in home. It's because Sam's mom is actually the executive chef.
Oh, she's good.
Oh, wow.
Sam,
I can taste
Did
it.
she cook this?
I literally
That
can
is
taste
amazing.
it.
Sam,
Compliments
can I
to
say
your mom.
something?
Of course.
Can I have some hummus?
Yeah.
This hummus has like a smoky taste to the end of it. What is it, paprika or something?
Well, DC, I hate to break
Paprika
it to you,
something.
that's actually the baba ganoush. That's
Okay,
the
this is
eggplant.
baba
yeah,
ganoush.
Yeah.
Oh my
that's
So
the
what is
baba
that,
ganoush.
paprika in there or something?
Yo, why is he
No,
talking like he's
but
Italian?
It's
Right,
smoky
don't. It's paprika
eggplant.
with amazing.
Oh, smoky eggplant.
Yes.
Okay, hey, Mackenzie,
Yes.
taste this. Tell me you don't taste smoky.
It is very smoky.
A good smoky, it's so
Yes.
good.
It's a nice,
It's really good.
classic, nice, classic, smoky. It's not like the artificial. You can tell it was
Yeah,
done
Mackenzie's
over
good
that
at
charcoal
explaining taste.
grill.
Try this.
Thank you very much. It's
The
like I've
baba
done this
ganoush?
a time or two. Chris?
Grilled the,
Yeah.
Tell us about the
eggplant.
smoke.
They meticulously, carefully peel it afterwards.
Oh, this is
And yeah, it's a lot of manual labor.
A lot of manual labor.
I'm a bit of a tabbouleh snob. Because my husband is Lebanese. This is amazing. Don't tell my mother-in-law.
What'd you say?
Ooh. A little bit louder. Did you say it's
No,
better?
no,
Laura.
no.
Oh my goodness.
She doesn't watch your shows. Let's be
She
honest.
might, actually, she does.
Really?
She's watching this one. I can feel it. I can feel it. Well, Sam, Hollywood Marouche has been in the same exact location for more than 40 years. What do you think the biggest reason for the success has been?
It's a bunch of variables. There's authenticity involved, originality. Everything is prepared from scratch, fresh, every day. We just put our heart into it.
Hey, Sam, I'll be in here tonight. Can I get it free? I'm out here. Sam, I'll be in the restaurant tonight. Can I get it free?
Can you take the meat out of your
Wait,
head?
Sam, so it's free?
No.
Man, I'm in Hollywood Marouche tonight.
I invite all of
I'm
you
sorry.
over.
What you want me to do?
We gotta zoom in of DC eating this meat.
What you want me to do? You want me to pay for it?
Yeah,
Sam's being very humble, but he's actually a big UFC fan, very knowledgeable. DC, I think it would be his absolute honor. And you got to experience the hospitality.
I'm in there, Sam. Hey, man, I'll
In
tell
the
you one
store
thing.
itself, yeah,
That's the best
amazing.
part.
Sam, I live here, and I'd like to come and pay for my dinner. That's what I'd like to come.
That's what you do for
That's
friends,
what gentlemen
right? Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
But
Being
to
it
be
that it's
honest-
the first time, I insist.
to be honest, you're not like at any type of celebrity.
That is
So
true.
you should not get free stuff.
That is true. So you like
You're
to
like
take
no
advantage
type of
of your
celebrity,
celebrity
so
for
you
your
should
free
not get
stuff.
anything free.
I wish you could get us free golf. You never do that.
I do, but I just make you pay.
Okay, well, DC, how about this? We'll compare our spreads because we had on Tuesday night it took up a whole table of like 6 people.
Oh my God.
Just for us. So
I cannot
we'll
wait.
compare. We'll compare notes tomorrow. How about that?
Okay, we got it.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you,
Sam, I look
so
forward
much,
to the
man. I really
rice. I look
appreciate
forward
it.
to the
Yeah.
rice tonight, Sam.
Well
I bet
done.
you got a good rice, huh?
Of course.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sam. Back to the weigh-ins. Diego Fajeda stepping to the scale.
Diego Fajeda.
Wyman, this is you, I believe.
All right, Diego Ferreira. He's known as a jiu-jitsu guy, but his last 2 wins were big KOs. He had a knockout win over Michael Johnson, and then he had a knockout win over Rebecca. Just super well-rounded, and he is a veteran of the sport. His first fight in the UFC was in 2014, so he's been around for quite some time. It looks like he's questionable on this weight here, not breathing. That does work sometimes.
Isn't it
My
amazing that
kid
you
did
get up
that.
there, you get up there so scared about weight that you think if you don't breathe.
Hang on, let's see what happens here.
Oh, boy.
Now he
They
gets
got-
to, he
they
gets
got
to
the-
step on as
they got
many
the
times
curtain
as
of death.
he wants up until 11 o'clock. Okay, this is the towel gate.
They got the curtain of death right there.
The DC towel.
Commission just told him we want both of your hands in the air.
Yeah. I'll make sure the hand is up. I
Yeah,
don't
you
want
probably
nobody-
police people.
I don't
like
want
crazy
nobody
with that.
cheating, man. I'll snitch.
Look at his hair.
I'll tell. I sure do.
This food is so good.
What's he
If
doing
I see a
behind-
dude trying to touch that thing, I will tell on him. I don't like people that cheat weigh-ins.
Oh, you don't?
What is this I'm eating?
All right, his
Baba
hands are
ganoush?
up. See, you ruined it for everybody. They can't. They have to keep their hands up like they're being arrested. Here we go. Come on. Did he make it? Oh no.
I just did what the commissioner told me.
156, the official.
Oh, he made it. Let's go.
Good job, Diego.
Let's go, Diego.
Good job, Diego.
Oh man, now he gets to rest up.
Yo, I
and get
gotta
some
be honest. This is
hydration
one of
in.
the better ones we've had on the show. Meals.
Absolutely delicious.
Very unique.
I would honestly rank it as the pasta in New York City,
Oh,
and then
that was
this.
so good.
The pasta in New York City, where Chris was
amazing.
literally holding the bowl and just drinking the sauce.
Oh, because they had the penny alla vodka.
Yeah,
I
the
think.
penny alla
That's
vodka.
my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, this is
What
this.
happened? You took my drink?
This ranks.
All right, so we are now 27 minutes to go in this weigh-in window. You cannot weigh in past 11 o'clock. We are waiting on one person.
I think it's Muin.
It is
Sakharov?
Arman Tsarukyan.
Oh my God, it's Armand.
And we are now.
Now we start to. Now we get
we're
to concern.
Mildly, right? 27
Not
minutes.
mildly. Now you get to concern.
And this is not. They
I
don't
think you
extend the
jinxed
window,
it, bro. Because you were like, you weren't worried at all. The name's on there. You're fine. Armand doesn't cut a lot of weight.
No, I never said he doesn't cut weight. I said he's a pro.
A lot of weight, though. Like, I mean, I feel like
He
that
looks
is
like
one
he
of the
cuts
X
a turtle
factors in the fight is that Islam is bigger, right?
Oh,
And
you're
Gavin.
right.
And we got
Muin
Gavin
has
for it.
not
Yeah, you
has
guys
not
gotta
weighed in
pay
either. So we have
attention.
two.
Everyone matters.
So two, and
He's from Tajikistan. That's why I won, by the way.
26 minutes.
Yeah, I knew the flag.
You've been doing your homework. I'm really proud
Bro,
of you.
he did not do that.
Way.
If you don't prepare,
He did not do that, bro.
way.
prepare to fail.
There you go.
I think that's
The
I think
only
there's someone
way,
else
the
there.
only way he knew any of those is somebody fed it to him.
The minute that he didn't get Japan, Chuck was like,
He was done.
Help this guy out. Help him out.
Yeah, I think they gave up on him after he got Japan wrong. All right, let's do some 2025
They tried to help
predictions.
me
This
in
is
Brazil, and I was like, I got it. I got it.
All right, let's do this.
our first weigh-in show of the year, our first pay-per-view of the year. We're talking fighter of the year, fight you want to see, breakout fighter of the year,
Okay.
and a bold
Oh,
prediction.
is this our cards?
So, Laura, let's start with you, your fighter of the year. Are we going to go each one fighter of the year around the horn? All right, fighter of the year, Senko.
I think it could easily be Islam Makhachev. I think especially if he moves up to 170 or fights Ilya, I think that this is going to be yet another very big year for him.
All right. I'm going Tom Aspinall. I think he beats John Jones, and then he defends his title.
A bold prediction.
Yeah.
That's a bold prediction.
Well, that's
had
what
him
this
as
is
a
all about.
pound-for-pound
That's my fighter of the year.
greatest, too.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Who you got?
All right, I got my 2025 fighter of the year is Topuria. I think this dude is so good. I think he's one of the best guys I've ever seen. His, as a fighter, you look at certain things, and his stand-up, we know he's so good at jiu-jitsu too, but his stand-up, the way he keeps balance and his legs underneath him at all times.
He's
on throwing
literally
punches,
never out of
He's
position.
never out of position. It's exactly the way you want to be, but it's just so hard to be.
Will you say his name for me one more time?
Ilya Topuria.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Am I right?
No,
Not really.
actually, no.
Topuria? How do
So
you
my
say it?
guy, I'm gonna go Ilya Topuria.
Topuria.
Topuria. That's my fighter. Dude, when you knock out Volkanovski and Holloway, I thought he should have been the fighter of the year this year. I don't care what nobody says. I know one guy had 3 title defenses to 2. When you beat an entire generation in 1 calendar year,
God, it's on my tooth.
when they're still in their prime, it was Topuria this year. I think it'll be Topuria next year.
Like
Who do you? Let's look. What's the lineup for Topuria?
All right, let's go fight you want to see
Okay.
in 2025.
John Jones, Tom Aspinall. That's literally the easiest question ever.
Yeah,
go
mine
ahead.
too.
What were you saying?
Busy.
Fight you want to see. In
What I
20
want to see. Did
Yeah.
we have the? Okay, yeah, Aspinall Jones.
Yeah, that's
That's a
so
great one,
easy.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard to skip over that one and try to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
creative because everybody wants to
That's
see
a
that.
good one. Amanda Hebos and Hannah Cyphers. I want it bad.
Okay.
Hot.
All right. Very well done. Breakout fighter of the year, Senko.
And I think it's going to be Peyton Talbot. I mean, people are starting to pay attention now, but if he can go 2-0, 3-0 this year, do some big things, I think he'll really be on the cusp of stardom.
I like Michael Morales from
thought
Ecuador.
about him too. Thought
Yeah,
about him too.
I thought about Peyton, but I had a feeling you're going to take Peyton, so I'm going Morales. He's 4-0 in the UFC, massive reach, stud. I think he's fighting Gilbert Burns next, coming up in a month or two.
I like Peyton. I was going to go with him, but then we're forgetting Bo Nickel. I think Bo Nickel's the guy. We're already talking about him from his first fight to I think he got 4 fights now in.
Yeah.
I think it's only going to build and get bigger and bigger, and so I got him as the breakout.
I got not Carlos Prates, but the other Brazilian kid.
Morales.
No, the little kid.
John Silva?
Oh.
The 150. The
Gene Silva?
Gian
Not Gian Silva, the 145 pounder.
Goofy or Snoopy
yeah, he's
or
so
something like
amazing.
that?
But okay, Gian. Mauricio Rufy. Mauricio Rufy. I know his last fight wasn't as great, but watch.
So we do have some breaking news now. Dana White is joining us live on the official UFC 311 weigh-in show. 23 minutes left for our 2 last fighters to weigh in. Dana, I wish it was under better circumstances, but you have some news to share with the world about the card tomorrow.
That's the business. This stuff happens. Around 1 a.m. last night, we got a call from Armin Tsarukyan, and he let us know that he's experiencing significant back pain and felt that he was not healthy enough to compete, so he's out of the fight.
Wow.
So stepping in to face Islam Makhachev for the title, Renato Moicano, he's been on a tear. He's moving up to 155 pounds, and he has the longest active win streak amongst all the fighters in the top 10 of the lightweight division. 6 of his last 7, including his last 4 in a row, with 3 of those coming by finish. He's a savage. He wants to step up to this fight. Every fight he's in is a war. And when we called Islam Makhachev, he said, "Brother, I am the champion. I fight anybody. I don't care." So the new fight, the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Islam Makhachev versus Renato Moicano for the lightweight title tomorrow night from the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles.
Dana, we saw Renato Moicano make championship weight this morning. Did he have any heads up that this was a possibility, or was that him just, taking his shot?
No, last night he was aware, and Obviously, he had to try to make sure he didn't weigh in at 56. He had to weigh in at 55 to be on championship weight.
You know, boss, he actually was in the fighter meeting yesterday and said he wanted to try and be 155. And he said, and you guys it kind of tipped the hat a little bit because he said, I'll cut the weight, but if I'm feeling bad, I'm not losing that extra pound. When he lost that extra pound, the ears start to perk up. So Renato Moicano was very aware of it. When you look at the fight, Renato Moicano has looked phenomenal recently. How do you think he matches up against Islam Makhachev?
Well, it's fascinating. I mean, for both guys, they prepared to fight different styles. I don't know. Anything can happen when guys step up and take these opportunities. But you know, I love this stuff. When a guy gets an opportunity and he takes it, both of these guys. And Islam, again, such a gangster. I am the champ. I don't care. I'm going to bed. Whoever I wake up and I'm fighting tomorrow, I'm good with.
That is an amazing mindset. And that is what excites people, right? That excites people because we all want to see fighters. And those guys are showing both of them that they're fighters.
This is what you guys are so good at, Dana, in times of crisis, figuring out a solution. There was not a true backup fighter for either the main event or the co-main event. Had Moicano not been able to go, was there another option?
Well, there were lots of options. The best case scenario was a guy who's already on the card, who's already in shape, who's already making weight, who's had a training camp. And when you really look at it, and the press conference yesterday, who better than Moicano to step up and take this opportunity?
That's true. He kind of stole the show at the press conference. I do have to ask you, he was supposed to fight Beneil Dariush. What's in store for Beneil?
We'll take care of Beneil. We'll get him figured out.
You always do. Huge news. Dana, thanks so much for joining us with the breaking news. UFC 311 moves on with another tremendous matchup as we take a look.
It's actually kind of exciting.
Hey, you know what's kind of crazy? I literally was just saying like an hour ago, I don't think he deserves the title shot.
Here's a look at the new main card, guys. We are adjusting on the fly, as we always do in the UFC, finding a way to get it done. And this is certainly an interesting matchup here. And what an opportunity for Renato Moicano. Breaking the news here on the official UFC 311 weigh-in show. This is why the show exists, Sanko.
Yes. This is why we are here, you guys, for breaking news coming out of the official weigh-ins. And now we have a completely different main event to talk about. And I'm sitting here thinking about it. This is really interesting. Renato Moicano, maybe not the wrestler, but grappling. When he does get on top, he is savage. He is so dominant there. I don't know. Can he deal with the initial shot of Islam?
You know what the best part about doing this, right? Because I don't know about I know about you, and I know you fought, and you have not done anything. But I have done something very similar, right? On a couple days, having to pivot. Nothing like this, 24 hours. But the unknown is what saves you in most of these types of situations. There's an unknown for Renato Moicano. He didn't think he was going to fight this guy. He doesn't have the time to worry. He doesn't have time to worry. He has time to get ready and reset his mind to go and fight for the world championship. That makes him dangerous. Because when you have 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks to worry about what this guy does, how he does it, you maybe psych yourself out. Moicano doesn't have that time. Moicano's going to show up tomorrow night and do what he does. And when you step up like this, it is all taken in great favor by the organization.
Oh, yeah.
But for Islam to go, I'm going to bed, I will wake up in the morning, you tell me who I'm fighting, is literally the most gangster shit I've heard in a real long time.
This is the moment Renato Moicano has been waiting for.
Yo, I was
like
literally...
listen, he made championship weight for a reason. He was talking about earlier in the week with DC, I know at least, about making the weight and being ready just in case something happens. This guy was throwing money to the crowd at the press conference. Well, guess what? He's about to make a hell of a lot more money now.
He's going to make much more money than he thought he was making this weekend.
He's going to be killing it, and this is a life-changing moment for him.
No pressure whatsoever.
People aren't expecting him to win. You know?
That's the beauty. They don't think he's going to go beat Makhachev.
Yeah.
Oh, for the record, Dana White did say the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Islam Makhachev. So even the boss agrees with me and Zach Candido.
I think he probably said that on accident.
Yeah, it's this weekend, though.
I mean, he is right now, but we know how Dana feels.
But honestly, for Islam, now sometimes what's expected is the hardest thing to do, right? When you're expected, because Peyton Talbot may be the biggest favorite on the card right now. Islam may balloon up to that over Moicano. So now with that expectation of the dominance, now it becomes a little bit harder on that walkout.
Do you realize how crazy this is?
It's
crazy. Do you realize this happened to Khabib? Ally Quinta on a day's notice?
You're right.
I mean, this doesn't happen very often. And Al wasn't ready for a 5-round fight.
And Al
went to the decision with him. I mean, he put up a fight. And it's happening to his protege.
Hey, isn't it crazy?
Soto and Dillashaw too, same thing.
But isn't it crazy that their careers have kind of run parallel?
Yeah.
Right? And again, that goes, right? When does Islam veer off to become the greatest lightweight of all time? But he's got to get it done tomorrow.
That was a really good point, Chris.
That was a great point, Chris.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ally Quinta did much better than most people thought Tony Ferguson was going to do against Khabib.
What do you think the odds are going to be for this one? What do you think
Islam's going to probably be
minus
minus 500.
I was going to say 4.
Minus 500. Minus 500.
What do you think, Chris?
Let's call plus 480 Renato Moicano.
No, it's going to be more than that.
How about minus 600
plus 480? That means
for
that
Islam. DraftKings Sportsbook just put the lineup. It's minus 600 for Islam. It's plus 440 for Renato Moicano.
I figured it would be big. Not as big as Peyton Talbot still, but it's big.
And by the way, it's almost identical odds to Ally Quinta and Habib.
But I
do think they're going to sway. I bet it's going to get even crazier. There's going to be a lot of money. There's going to be
a lot of money coming in on Makhachev.
I think he was minus 370, 380-ish.
There's going to be a lot of money come in on Makhachev. Because at minus 600, with Renato not technically ready for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
People are going to go, well, this is at a decent price.
And to what you said before, people still look back at some of the fights that he's lost, like that RDA fight.
He was able to grapple him.
They're looking at that. But what you have to look at, another interesting parallel, is his win over Saint Denis. And then you compare it to what Dustin Poirier did against Saint Denis. It was very
He looked
close,
better than Dustin.
Looked way better than Dustin in that fight.
He killed Dustin.
So if you look at that, if there's some MMA math there, you know, it points that this is going to be a freaking really good fight. And kind of, people might underestimate what Moicano could do in there.
He's got, I think, 11 submissions. Every single one of them is in a rear naked choke.
And let's talk about the differences between Moicano and Arman as far as their styles. So obviously,
You know how hard a decision that must have been for Tsarukyan? Because he waited. Remember after UFC 300, they asked him to fight for the belt. He said, I'm going to wait.
And with all the Armenians here.
With all the Armenians in Los Angeles. He might be waiting a while.
Especially
before.
with Ramadan coming.
Well, Ramadan's early this year. Like, Ramadan's in March. So, yeah.
Then at minimum, he's not going to fight till August.
Yeah, I know. So it takes some time to get back in there. He might have to wait all the way back till we go to Abu Dhabi for the pay-per-view in October where we usually go. But it's like, you're going to go from where you are going to be the overwhelming crowd-supported fighter to a guy in Abu Dhabi, if that's the case, where they all love Makhachev. And they love the Russian guys. There's a lot of factors. So for Arman to make that decision, that is a massive, massive thing for him and his team to make. And I'm going to call his manager as soon as I'm done with this show. I'm going to kind of try to get some insight as to what went into that decision. Because that happened to me with Derek Lewis with my back, with the spasms. But they were able to make him subside. Obviously, they weren't able to do that.
You could call him and have him come on the show.
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'd rather save that for my YouTube. Y'all get enough
so
views.
selfish.
We knew that was coming.
Of course you would.
I was going to actually pitch it for you. But.
Yeah.
You guys are so
what's the biggest challenge going to be for Renato? I'm assuming it's the 5 rounds. Do you come out balls to the wall, or do you have to try to come out and conserve energy?
Staying off your back.
Yep.
I don't care how good you are at jiu-jitsu. You can't be underneath these guys.
Yeah. Look what he did to Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira off his back. There's nobody better.
Yep.
Muin Gafarov weighing in right now.
Yeah, from Tajikistan. He actually came to my gym and trained back in 2015, was there for a while. Now he's out here in Vegas, and he trains a lot with Merab. So you know he's ready. Let's see how he did on the weight.
136, the official weight for Muin Gafarov.
He's a very good grappler, you know, and a good boxer on the feet. Not much of a kicker, but a little stud.
King Callum Walsh is in the house, the WBC Continental America's Super Welterweight Champion. You have a fight coming up against Dean Sutherland at Madison Square Garden on March 16th. That is going to be live exclusively on Fight Pass. This is kind of your backyard where you train. I feel like I saw you at a boxing event up in Santa Ynez, about a month or so ago?
Yeah, this is where I live. You know, I just came from Ventura, right down here. I'm going to leave here and go to Wildcard Gym and spar after this. So they did my makeup in the back for sparring, so I'm feeling good.
You look good, you feel good, you're at home. What comes to mind every time I see you is that last fight when you had that second round knockout in Ireland, and they were just going bananas. What was that to fight like back home?
Yeah, it was crazy. You know, it was bigger than I ever expected. You know, because I haven't fought there in 4 years. Last time I fought there, I was trying to qualify for the Olympics, and then I came here, turned pro, and finally going back and fighting as a pro in Ireland was crazy. And then the walkout, the crowd was singing, everybody was drinking. And then when I knocked him on and all the beer coming into the ring, it was crazy. It was a night I'll remember.
So this next one coming up going to be your second fight, I believe, at MSG, right? In terms of energy, obviously, this energy may be unrivaled, but if there's something that's a close second, it would be Madison Square Garden. What's that like there?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm looking forward to coming off that fight and now going to Madison Square Garden again. You know, I think everyone that was there in Dublin that night will want to experience that again, you know, and they'll show up to New York, and hopefully we'll get the same kind of atmosphere.
Hollywood Fight Nights on UFC Fight Pass, obviously a great organization. What do you think makes that promotion such a breeding ground for tremendous fighters?
Yeah, you know, I think it's good because it's the similar mindset of like the UFC. You know, like a lot of boxing events, it's easy fights. You know, people take fights that they know they're going to win. You know, it's like they're going to people are going to pay their money. They're going to show up to watch someone get a second round knockout, or, you know, like to have an easy fight. Whereas in Hollywood Fight Nights, it's like tough fights, you know, especially when I'm headlining the shows. You know, I understand I'm not going to get an easy fight. You know, I'm going to have to fight tough opponents and tough fights. You know, sometimes it might look easy, but it's not. You know, but they're tough fights. You know, and they're tough opponents. And every fight, you know, from the first fight of the night all the way through the card, it's tough fights. And I think that's why Dana enjoys it. I think that's why the only reason it's staying on UFC Fight Pass, because it's good fights.
It's very rare that you see a boxer who starts dabbling in other martial arts, but you started doing jiu-jitsu recently. How's your jiu-jitsu game? How do you like it, and why do you do it?
You know, I was shit at it at the start. I was doing it for like 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm not learning anything.
Yeah.
2 weeks now, I was like, not a long time, but I was like, I'm not learning anything. And then I was like going there every night, I was hating it. I was like, oh, I'm just like, but then after like a month, it was starting to make sense, you know, because I used to watch a lot of videos on my phone of jiu-jitsu, and I was just looking at them, I was like, I could definitely do that. But when you don't know the basics, you can't do it. But once I started to learn the basics and stuff, the video started to make sense. And then I started to get a bit better, you know. But obviously when I'm in camp for a fight, I stay away from it, you know. But when I have time off and stuff, like I was out for like 3 months, you know, recently, so I was doing it for a few months, so I'm getting better, yeah.
At this point, you want to stand the fight, though. You gotta keep it standing. Sprawl and brawl, baby.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just get back to the feet, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. So Forbes reported that Turkey was working with TKO to try to start a new boxing league. Is that something that you would like to be a part of, to try and continue working with the UFC family?
Yeah, definitely, yeah, 100%. If that, I haven't heard much about it, you know, they don't really tell me the plans, I just do the fighting, but if there was something like that going to happen, definitely, 100%. Like if it was going to be like a league, like a tournament like that, yeah, 100%, I would love to do it.
Because you did that in the Olympic boxing, right? Trying to make the team fight in tournaments is not...
Yeah, absolutely, sure. Even when I won the European gold medal, I fought Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I had a day off Thursday, and I fought in the final on Friday, you know, so I could fight, you know, especially when the fights are like that, if they're quick, like you get knockouts, I could fight again the next day or the next week, you know, so I don't know what the rules would be, like how quick you're allowed to fight, but I'd be up for it, definitely.
And more money.
Yeah,
you fight more often, you make
100%, yeah, 100%.
Where are you training at?
Wildcard.
Wildcard, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
Up in Hollywood, not too far, right?
Yeah, just around the corner, yeah.
So, of course, everybody knows that your girlfriend is Tabitha Ricci, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. She's teaching you stuff, I'm assuming. Are you able to hang with her on the mats yet?
Yeah, see, this is the thing, right? So she obviously has all the technique and the skill, but I have the strength and the size, you know. So I last a bit longer, you know. That sounds a bit weird. I last longer.
That's why she's with you.
I last longer. That's why she's awesome. But I'm able to survive for a bit, you know, until the technique gets too much. But just the strength until I get tired, then she can.
And it's like a whole different set of muscles that you use in the grapple.
Oh, it's crazy.
In boxing, but you can punch longer and more than most people can.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can box all day, but when I start wrestling or anything, I'm like, fuck. I'm tired, 'cause I'm trying to hold on. Because when you don't have the technique, you're just trying to just strength, and you get too tired, and it's like I've been even wrestling with small guys, you know, and it's like, how are they just keep going? It's like crazy.
Quickly becoming the first couple of combat sports. She was with you at the Hollywood Fight Nights up there a month or so ago. Best of luck on March 16th. That is going to be fun. That is live on UFC Fight Pass, taking on Dean Sutherland. This is the King, Callum Walsh. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you joining us.
No problem, man.
Enjoy the weekend.
Good luck, man.
Thank you, Callum.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you,
Good
Doug.
seeing you.
Thanks, yeah, good to see you.
Hey, you doing good, man?
Appreciate
Watching you fight.
Thank you.
Got
Thanks
some good
very much.
skill.
As King Callum Walsh steps off the stage, the line has already changed for the new main event. Islam Makhachev is now minus 900.
I told you.
Yeah, that was a great price for him in this matchup. When looking at what's happened in the past, right? If you think about a guy that can grapple, and I'm not saying Islam's going to have that success against Renato, but when you look at what he did to Charles, it's like, you should be able to do this to Renato Moicano.
Yeah, Renato's going to have to
But
do his
Renato
best
has
to
a
keep
different.
it standing.
He's got different skills than Charles Oliveira.
He's got to find a way to get a sweep, win a scramble, something
sweeps,
like that to be able to get on top.
If he wants a chance,
A
he's got to be
reversal.
defending before he gets taken down. If he gets taken down or if he gets to his leg, it's too late.
And if they are wrestling, they need to be wrestling in the open map for it to favor Renato Moicano.
And he can't have his back on the cage.
There's the odds. So minus 900 and then
That's
plus 600
unreal.
on the dog.
600.
That happened in 15 minutes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to stay away from that plus
That's
600.
gonna be, but that's gonna be.
It's getting juicy, huh?
Yeah, it's like a good parlay right there.
All right, rent-free, we do this each and every show. This is a fighter on the card that for some reason is living rent-free in your head because of what he has done in the past. A fight, a moment, celebration?
For me, I looked at that card and immediately I pictured Yuri Prochazka fighting Dominic Reyes. What an insane fight that was, and what an absolutely insane finish that was. This was Yuri's only second fight in the UFC. Obviously, he had a couple of
Jones fight, I think,
yeah.
right?
Oh, that's absolutely
nasty.
brutal. That one lives rent free in my brain for sure.
You know, being close to these guys, these Dagestani guys, Islam becoming the champion was a special moment, knowing him for as long as I have. But I think what resonated with me the most is that the great Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov is not here with us anymore. He would have loved to have seen his prized pupil get his crowning achievement. While he didn't have him there, he did have his son. And the guy that is now carrying the flag of the coach of this team, and Islam gave him the belt. That must have meant the world to Khabib. And for Islam to do it was awesome.
All right, I had Marab, man. When he fought Henry Cejudo, picked up an Olympic champion, walked him around the octagon, put him in front of Mark Zuckerberg, and started talking to him. Look at this. He's choking Henry Cejudo. There's a chance he could get the finish in this fight, but instead he wants to hang out and talk to Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, the relaxation that he has and just having fun in there. This guy just loves fighting.
To an Olympic champion.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's crazy. All right, mine was Jamal Hill when he won the title against Glover at UFC 283 in January of 23. The reason I love it so much is because he was the second Contender Series guy to win a belt. Sean O'Malley, of course, was the first, and he's from a small gym. He's from the Midwest, and he just absolutely battles. And that look on his face, it just shows, going to his knees, how much this moment meant to him. I thought it was really cool.
We'll go back to Merab Dvalishvili. There are few more indestructible fighters than the man from Georgia. He is human Kevlar. Marlon Moraes put on one of the biggest 3-minute beatdowns you will see. He survives it, gets to round 2, and then finishes Marlon Moraes. top 5 biggest comebacks in UFC history. He was dead to rights. He can survive a nuke. Rob the Vajrayil is indestructible.
Like a roach. Little cockroach.
That was the craziest. That was the craziest fight ever.
You call him a cockroach?
Twinkies, roaches.
There's no
and Rob the
adorable
Vajrayil.
cockroaches.
A term of endearment.
Yeah.
There's no
Or
such
at least
thing.
meant to be.
You don't call a man a
You're
roach.
a nice little asshole.
Yeah.
Adorable
That's so
cockroach.
sweet. What a sweet.
My God. All right, it's time for Ayers Tech Defensive Strategies. Ayers Tech is a dual system action that both shields and enhances the body's resilience and adaptability to environmental stressors like EMF. It's patented and trusted by pro athletes and UFC fighters like Michael Chandler, Macy Barber, and others seeking optimal results. Weidman, we're going to start with you. Ayers Tech Defensive Strategies. Who do you got?
Yeah, I got Merab. Merab's got to do what he always does against a very well-rounded guy in Umar. Lots of pressure moving forward, but Umar's got a great check left hook, or right hook from southpaw, and he's got to be able to watch out for that and get underneath it, get to his takedowns, and that's where he wants to be. But from there, Umar is very dangerous off his back. He's dangerous with his sweeps, and once he gets on top of you, there's just a lot of danger there as far as submissions and back control. So when he's on top, he's got to make sure that he postures up, keeps his elbows in, lands hard ground and pound, and just doesn't stop throwing.
What about defensive strategies for Umar, DC?
So obviously, Umar has to defend takedowns, right? We all know that if you're fighting Merab Dvalishvili, you got to make sure you're not getting taken down over and over again or constantly under the threat of defending takedowns. He's got to be able to stop him from throwing him to the ground. And secondly, he honestly has to make him go backwards. We spoke about this a little earlier in the show. Merab's cardio is so good because he's always the guy pressing, always the guy dictating. Umar needs to force him backwards. It's much harder to wrestle when you're backing up opposed to going forward because it's much harder to set up your shots. It's easy to set up a shot when I'm cornering you and trapping you. If I'm retreating, to have to set my feet and go is much more difficult.
EMF radiation is a growing concern for everybody. Ayers Tech is a dual action system that both shields and enhances the body's resilience and adaptability to environmental stressors like EMF. It's patented and trusted by pro athletes and UFC fighters like Michael Chandler, Macy Barber, and others seeking optimal results. Visit ayerstech.com to get yours today. Wow, this has been the breaking news show of champions.
Yeah, what the heck's going
And
to happen?
apparently, there's a little more. We promised you at 11 o'clock, and it is 11:01. See, we are 60 seconds late. But somebody up here apparently knows what the breaking news is.
Him because
You have a silly little look on your face.
I've been holding it in for a while.
What is it, Weidman?
What are you doing?
You're fighting?
So, I got a big fight set up.
Really?
Listen, I've been since I decided to get into the sport since 2009. The goal was to be a UFC fighter. Then immediately the goal was to become a UFC world champion. 14 years later, I'm here, and I'm here to tell you guys I'm hanging up the gloves in the UFC. I'm no longer going to be fighting for the organization that has changed my life in so many ways. And I'm just super appreciative, to everybody who got me here. And yeah, so that's the breaking news. And I just want to thank the UFC for all the opportunities they've given me. It's really become a family. From the Fertitta brothers to Dana White to Hunter Campbell, Joe Silva, who's the matchmaker who brought me into the UFC originally, Mick Maynard, and all the staff from the UFC. They're all just like family. They're just amazing people. But it's time to move on. And I want to thank my family, just for supporting me throughout all these years, through the ups and the downs. My coaches, Ray Longo, Matt Serra, Jeff Jimmo when I moved down to the Carolinas. All my training partners, shout out to John Vellante, who's my main training partner. But there's so many of them that helped me get to where I'm at. And my life has changed in just so many ways that I never would have expected if it wasn't for the UFC. So I'm just super grateful. I want to thank the fans, for the support over the years, and from the ups and to the downs, the same thing. Just super grateful for their support. It's been a ride from being an undefeated world champion, and being able to beat one of the greatest of all times in Anderson Silva, and then being able to defend my belt 3 times against some of the greatest legends of the sport. And then even from, you know, the amount I've learned about myself and dealing with adversity and injuries. I've had 30 surgeries, and I put my body through a lot, and to be able to overcome a lot of that was always tough. And I'm just proud that the UFC gave me an outlet to be able to, you know, compete against some of the best guys in the world. I'm proud of the resume and the type of guys I was able to fight. I respect them all so much. Yeah, and I really don't know what else to say. I'm just very grateful, and it's a weird one. You know, I've been, you know, a UFC fighter, calling myself a UFC fighter since 2011, and today, I think maybe for the first time, I can't say that. You know, and it's weird. It's like kind of part of your identity. You know,
Yeah,
and you gotta, you know, move on. And so I'm opening up a new chapter of my life, and I'm excited about the future. And I'm leaving the door open for opportunities, any big opportunities out there. But we're moving on to see you know, see my life develop in different ways.
Our celebration of your career is just beginning. But while you kind of gather your thoughts here, let's take a look back at what a tremendous career you had.
It's hard to really sit back and realize what I've accomplished. When I first got into the sport, I was living in my parents' basement with my wife and a baby on the way. I had no money. And when my first daughter was born, it just gave me a motivation and inspired me on a whole nother level. I remember just coming to the gym, and it wasn't just for myself anymore.
Fighting out of Baldwin, New York, the All-American!
The goal for Chris was always to be the best in the world at what he does. And from day one that I met him, I think that's what he had his eyes set on. When that cage door closes, Chris Weidman is an animal, man.
My style is to move forward and beat people up, physically and mentally, break them.
This guy is a very, very talented individual. Look at that! And talk about making a statement. He can wrestle, and he can strike.
He may be amongst the best middleweight prospects in the world. My goal is to get that championship belt around my waist.
This is a tough place to be in your 10th professional fight. He's just the best mixed martial arts fighter I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my, he got hit! Chris Weidman is the UFC middleweight champion! Oh my goodness, he has done it!
Chris Weidman is the only man to finish Anderson Silva twice. He then went on to beat Lyoto Machida, Vitor Belfort.
Vitor's got to protect himself. Vitor's in deep, deep trouble. That's it.
And still!
The crazy thing about fighting is it has the highest of highs. When you win, you know, all the glory goes to you. You know, you're the man. And then when you lose, it's just like you feel so alone.
That's it. That's it. We got a new champion.
I'm a good example of no matter what injuries or setbacks that you have, that doesn't mean it's the end of whatever you want to accomplish.
Oh my God! Chris Weidman has snapped his left leg.
Chris, breathe. Breathe, brother. That's a bad injury that takes a long time to recover from, if you ever come back from.
It could be over. People will remember who Chris Weidman is. I will get back on track. I will get back to winning, dominating. My story's not done yet.
So the moment has arrived. The comeback is upon us.
Chris Weidman is one of the most determined and disciplined guys that's ever fought inside the octagon.
Big right hand for Weidman now.
I've done great things in this sport. I'm proud of what I've accomplished.
Oh, Weidman to the body and then a left hand.
From the moment I first saw him compete, I understood this guy's special.
I was so proud of myself for coming back and coming through everything I've been through with the leg injury and everything and all the surgeries.
Oh, that's a heavy left. You hurt him with that one.
You can do anything you want to do. Ask everybody who freaking doesn't believe in you.
Oh!
Surround yourself with good people and work your damn off. You can do anything you want in this world.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's
And
over.
that'll do it.
What a legend.
Watching you watch that, it's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
what a career.
Thank you.
What a
Appreciate
career,
that.
man.
Yeah, and thank you for the video and appreciate you guys. Yeah.
Got something in both my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You were good.
Well,
Chris, you are awesome, dude. fuck Vitor up. Too. That was nasty. I was there watching like, damn, Weidman, you look good.
Well, the good news is we're just getting started here. This isn't the official UFC 311 weigh-in show. This is the Chris Weidman show right now. And to get things going, let's bring in the voice of the UFC, John Anik, for a little bit more on the All-American. What stands out the most to you about this man, about this career, Anik?
Well, we got all hands on deck for this Chris Weidman celebration. Congratulations, my man. And I can assure you I'm the least special guest of everybody that is going to join us today. It's crazy to think back to a time when Joe Silva actually was more interested in signing John Vellante than the future Hall of Famer Chris Weidman. But I digress. Chris, one of the first UFC fight nights I was ever assigned was when you absolutely bludgeoned Mark Munoz. And I think a lot of us knew on that night that we were looking at a future UFC champion. I think your lasting legacy for me is just when I hear from Matt Serra and Ray Longo and they talk about teaching you a technique early on. They feel like no mixed martial arts athlete has ever been able to absorb a technique and implement it into his game as quickly as you were able to do it. A total fucking phenom who realized the ultimate prize. And for a Bostonian like me, and Aljamain Sterling and other New Yorkers know this, I don't root for New Yorkers in combat sports or otherwise. You made it very hard to root against you, my man. I love you, and hopefully you'll enjoy the microphone and everything else that is in the other half of this for you. But you're an absolute legend. We look forward to the day the Hall of Fame comes calling.
Thanks, brother. Love you too, buddy.
From one John to another, he mentioned John Vellante, a man that knows you better than most, and he's on the line right now. John.
Sure, we can go a lot of ways. Sure, we can go a lot of ways here, but
do we got subtitles for him?
With this discussion. I just want to thank you for letting me be there this whole ride, man. And I was there from day one. Your MMA pro debut to last fight we just had a couple months ago, man. And so it's been an awesome ride, and I've got to witness a lot of great things. But biggest thing I can thank you for and that I got to witness was you being a dad and how good you are at that. And now it's something I get to do with my kid, and it's something I've always wanted to do. And now I'm doing it. And big thanks to you, because I'm not sure I ever would have wanted that if I didn't see you going through it the whole time. So thank you for everything, and Long Island loves you, brother.
John, what is it about this guy that makes him so special and so unique?
I mean, everything he does is hearts on his sleeve. It's right. We don't hide much. Even my, big butt over here, as soft as we can, man. It's a fun ride, man. This means so much to him, and I've seen it the whole way. The whole family aspect of it meant a lot to me, and it makes me. It's grown me into a better man myself. So, thank him for all that.
John Vellante, thank you so much for joining us. What a cool moment. And we're not done, because Aljamain Sterling is on the line.
I can't take this.
A teammate of yours. You do deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. What an incredible career. Aljo, are you there? Oh, there he is. They're turning on his mic right now. Aljo, can you hear us? Yeah, we got you, buddy.
I can hear you, yes. Chris, what's up, brother?
What's up, buddy?
Man, yeah, I told myself I wasn't going to get emotional. Now I feel more emotional right now.
I'm dying too, don't worry.
Yeah. It's been a long ride, man, and you've been a huge inspiration for me. I know I always said John Jones is the reason I got started in the sport, but you helped elevate my career by allowing me to come down to the gym when you gave me that invite at Ring of Combat that one time in the casino when we were walking down the hall.
Yep.
What are you doing? You're a Long Island guy. Why are you all the way up there? And you held true to your word, and you gave me the invite. You let me come down, and it's changed my life forever. So just being able to see your journey, see everything you've been able to accomplish, and just earn for yourself, your family. And you guys, you changed your life, man. You changed so many people's lives around you. So that's truly an inspiration and a blessing. And I'm just grateful to have you around and, always making jokes and just having a great time. And it's been fun to share the fight week moments with you for those last two that we had. And, of course, obviously they didn't go our way, but life's got bigger lessons and teachings for us. So, man, it's been a fun ride, bro. It truly has been, and I know there's going to be great things for you on the other side, and I feel sad because I know that door is coming for me soon one day. But just try to enjoy the moment, bro. And damn, I can't believe this is it. This is I feel like a part of me is being taken away right now. It hurts.
Well,
it hurts.
I appreciate all the words, Aljo, but honestly, the first thing in my mind is I don't want to. If I start when I'm crying and I talk, it just is awful. So I start squeaking and stuff. I'm blown away of how much you've matured as a man, and to be able to witness that. And to see that's why I don't want to cry. To be able to see that from where you came from, where we came from, and to see how it all worked out for us is really just amazing. And it's going to be, some of the greatest memories of my life is just in the gym, with you guys on Long Island. And those are the moments. It's the fights, but it's a lot of it's just in the gym with you guys, and those moments you don't get back. It just has, but as a memory, oh God, yeah.
What might be next?
I'm proud of you, bro, and you're not done yet. Don't be like me. You're not done. You got a lot more to give here in the UFC, and the sky's the limit. And I'm super proud of you, and how you improved as a fighter, but more importantly, how much you improved as a man.
I appreciate the words, bro.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you to be, a good husband soon. I'm excited for you to be a good father, and yeah.
My man.
Thank you, Aljo. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna go.
Thank you, Aljo.
I start shedding.
That was beautiful. I'm starting to get a little misty myself. While we all collect ourselves here, we have a rip of messages, including from your brother-in-law-ish, Wonder Boy, who couldn't come on live because, of course, he's driving a bus and hauling kids around all over the upstate in South Carolina. So let's take a listen to these.
What's up, you guys? Stephen Wonderboy Thompson here, wishing Christopher James Weidman a happy retirement. Are you kidding me, dude? Time has flown by, man. You know what's messed up? You got me into this mess, and now you're dipping on me. That's kind of messed up. No, I'm just kidding. But on a serious note, man, I'm proud of you, brother. I mean, just think about all the people that you have met, the legendary fighters that you have faced and won. I mean, a very small percentage of people can say that they have been the UFC middleweight champ, dude. I think that's so freaking cool. And what's even cooler than that is the amount of people that you've had a positive influence on being in the sport, being a light for those who needed it, man. Every time you step that octagon, seeing the grinds that you have been through, I think it's just so cool, man. And you know what? We ain't done seeing Chris Weidman. I mean, there's still so much more that you have to offer this sport. The experience that you have, the knowledge, my man. I mean, just doing what you're doing right now, hanging out with these fine people. What's up, DC? But I just want to tell you I love you, man. And I'm just so happy to be able to have witnessed it, man. Every time you step that octagon. And thank you for all of your help. And you better not stop, helping me train. You still got to help me out with my next fight, my man. But I just want to tell you I love you. And I support you, man, 100% of the way. Happy retirement,
What's
brother.
up, Chris? I actually was at your first fight when you fought Alessio Sakara, and I've really enjoyed working with you over the years, man. I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of great people, and literally working with you has been one of the highlights of my career. So thank you for all the memories. I'll never forget, obviously, the Anderson Silva fights and everything through the end. But most importantly, it's truly been an honor to work with you. You've been first class, and you're a wonderful human being. And I wish you all the best of luck in the future. Take care.
Chris, congratulations on an incredible career here at the UFC. When I first met you, you told me, I'm going to be a world champion here. Matt Serra told me, Longo told me, everybody tells me that. And if you think about it, the division you were in, Anderson Silva was the long reigning world champ. You did it. You had an amazing career here, put on some of the most historic fights we've ever seen. I'm really happy for you. Enjoy the next chapter of your life, buddy.
He mentioned Ray Longo. So I think we have Ray Longo with us now, your longtime coach, is with
There
us. There he is.
Longo.
There he is. Come on. Are you kidding?
I got a napkin
Finally.
over here.
Yeah.
It's fun. Before he starts going to make me cry, it's crazy because nobody knew I was retiring. None of those guys. I didn't tell Volante, Wonder Boy. Yeah, nobody knew. It just kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna just say it on the wedding show. People will find out there. I told my parents and obviously my family, but that's it.
That's it.
And Longo.
Ray, what comes to mind
listen.
with this guy? What an unbelievable career, and you've been such a huge part of it the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know what's funny, man? I mean, he almost didn't get in the gym. There was a guy calling me up constantly. You got to see this kid. You got to see this kid. I just wasn't interested. But, man, the first day he took it upon himself to come to the gym one night. And the first night I met him, we sat on the ring watching sparring in the octagon. Beautiful conversation. I think we hung out till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just automatically took a liking to this kid. And then when I saw him actually perform, I knew I had a world champion. It was pretty obvious. He had, I mean, just the guts, the grit, the talent. Just having him in the gym was a big inspiration to everybody. Having him in the gym was a big inspiration to just everybody. And I mean, just thank you, buddy, for taking me, along for the ride. I think I was probably 52 when I met him, and I think he extended my life another 15 years just by keeping me going. You know what I mean? So he's just listen. He would leave people laying on the floor in his training sessions. He was an absolute beast. Nobody could stop him. I always said an uninjured Weidman was pretty much unbeatable, and just his whole career. I mean, he gets in the UFC after 4 fights, no amateur fights, wins his next 5, beats the greatest of all time. I mean, what can you say? I mean, even getting there, that elbow he landed on Mark Munoz, the timing it took to do that. He was just an absolute phenom and an absolute pleasure to work with, and just was great, just a great friend, and I think we'll always be friends till the day we're both out of here. But I just want to say congratulations, thank you very much for everything you've done for me. You definitely elevated me in the game. I don't even think I did an interview much before him, and he just gave me the confidence to believe in myself too as a trainer. So he was very, very influential to me in a million reasons, and one of the baddest dudes I ever met, and one of the nicest dudes I've ever met. So he's got it all. He's got both sides of the spectrum. When he has to turn it on, he can, and when he has to turn it off, he can.
Thank you, Ray. I just say here we go again. I wouldn't be able to do anything without Ray. When I was a wrestler, I was talented and all that, but I never was able to accomplish my goals. I was pretty much a mental head case. Would choke under big situations, and I needed a guy who was going to really give me true confidence, and he was that guy. When I seen the belief he had in me, then it gave me the true belief in myself that I needed to become a world champion, and truly accomplish my first goal in my life. That I set out for myself. So I'm happy to, I was so blessed with him as a coach, and I wouldn't have been able to do without him. Thank God they put us together, and I consider him, best friend for life. It's kind of weird because he's way older than me, but I see him as a best friend / dad figure, I guess. I got a great dad too, but yeah, he's he looks young, but he's old. Yeah, but love you, Longo. Thank you for everything, man.
Love you too.
Amazing
Love you
memories.
too, and just remember, Vinny's looking down, happy as a MFer for you, buddy. We lost a good one in his father-in-law. Very close. I love the guy. He was just the heart and soul of rooting for everybody on the team, and was always a huge Chris Weidman fan. And I wish he was here to share this moment with us. But that's it.
Ray, before you go, on the way out, give us punch a hole in his fucking chest, Weidman. Give me one more time. Let us have it one more time before you go, Ray.
I'll tell you, DC, I've been asked to say that. you know, ever since I said it, and I would never do it. I would write it if somebody wanted, but I would never do it. But this is such a fucking moment for me that this guy, man, he was such an inspiration to so many fucking people, and he let them believe, and I think Aljo alluded to it, but really, if it makes you feel any better, I want you to punch a fucking hole through his chest. That's what I want.
Thank you, Longo. Thank you. You're the best, buddy.
What a way to go out, Ray Longo. One of a kind. You mentioned your dad. You got a great one, and he's here with your mom.
Hey. What's up there, buddy?
They're just trying to get me to cry more. Oh, good.
Yeah, that's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
When you said you had a great dad, Dad started crying.
Well, I've been crying the whole time. The celebration of your life as a fighter is nothing like the life that you've already had as a man, a father, and the way you treat your nephews and your nieces, especially those that have been in trouble over the years. You and Marivi have stepped up. You've used your influence to help those with cancer, with those with any kind of problem. You've always been first to help others in need. You never used your influence for evil. You always looked out for others before yourself. Not many people who have been champs can say that. I'm sure you feel like after your surgery, you had something to prove to get that belt back on your waist. Because not for yourself, but to always show others that no matter what goes on in your life, from the minor injuries to all of your major injuries to the worst injury of all time in the UFC, no one expected you to even be able to get out there and try again. It's amazing the mindset you had, because I do believe you didn't want to let anyone down. It wasn't just to prove you could do it. You felt people were watching you, and you wanted to be that man for them. And you might feel you came short, but Chris, you are the champ. You'll always be the champ. You've influenced more people for good. When they think of you, they don't just think of you as a fighter. They try to resemble you in their own actions and fight all the time to be a better person. You do that, Chris. And you will continue doing that. And we just love you for that kind of efforts. When you had that show, Won't Back Down, or when you walk out to that song, it truly empowered me every time. I can't get out of a room when that music is playing because I have to listen to the end. All of a sudden, I'll be walking out there playing the music. I'll make sure I hear it to the end because it's about you won't back down. Now you have your life. You are already at that point. You won't back down. You've already had adversities on the other side of fighting. But that happens to all of us. The strong will get back up. But the thing about you, when you get back up, people are amazed and they're watching what you've accomplished. So people have always said to me, oh, won't it be great when your son stops fighting? And I just say, his heart loved it so much. I couldn't be the one to try to shatter those dreams. When the time was right, he will know. And I will have peace with that. And today, apparently, you're going to have so many more things, more future endeavors to undertake and to show the world how you don't back down from situations. But for today, we can take a moment and say, Chris, you have done your job and done it well. And now you can go on with your life and be free You're not letting anyone down. You never did. But you will continue being that man, making a difference in other people's lives, especially your wife and your kids. But all of us, Chris, we love you. And I want to say, and Chris, you're still my boy.
There we go.
There it is.
You got the best parents.
All right.
You got the best.
Love you guys.
You really do.
I think it's Mom's turn.
Well,
Yeah, how am I following that? Is there any time left?
Go ahead.
They said it's Chris's show. Go, Mom.
First, I want to say I love you, Chrissy. And it's just, you've just had an amazing career. I'm so proud of you. And of course, I'm going to start crying because every time I talk about my kids, I cry. Thank you. But you've taken us for some ride. I certainly didn't think that this would be your career. I mean, when I sent you to college, I didn't make you an MMA. But I did also tell you in your life that to find something you love, your passion, and try to make a living out of it, and you sure did. and you did a great job. So I love you, and I'll hug you when you get home.
Love you.
Mr. and Mrs. Weidman, that was phenomenal, and you can hear
Love you, Mom.
how much they talk about your son as a man. Thank you so much for joining us, and not
Hey
just a
guys,
fighter.
just last thing, thank you all. He loves being with you all. You interact so well, and I do enjoy watching. And God bless you all, guys.
My dad wants to be on the show, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Weidman. He's got it. He's saying, hey, Mr. Weidman, you have an open invite. You can replace Chris. He's getting too comfortable.
Oh, no. He needs a job now. I'm not taking, I can't replace him. No.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Well, I mean, if you haven't teared up yet, you might now with your wife and kids coming on.
No, stop.
And,
There's no way.
They are here. They are joining us, and you can see them right there. We've
What's up, guys?
seen the boys at a lot of these weigh-in shows. Hey, guys. You have a message for Dad?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Tell us it all. They have. So it's been emotional over here. You guys are torturing us in the back, listening to everyone's stories about how wonderful and great, Chris, you are. We love you so much. And these kids have been fortunate to always know you as being this amazing dad and supporter of our family. Colton, come here.
Colton, sit down next to Mommy.
Of our family, supporter of all of our community, outreaches with like wrestling or any of the teams the kids are on, their friends. So they've known you always as being this great guy, and I'm fortunate that God had chosen a long time ago that I got to walk the journey with you, from you being a preteen all the way up into your ripe old age of 40 now. And I'm so honored to have been able to go through the ups and downs with you. It has not been easy, but it has been a privilege to see you grow as a person, as a father, as a fighter, as a friend. And I'm so thankful that you are the man that gets to come home to us every day. And we love you so much. And we can't agree to come home.
Love you. Love you guys. Bye. I'll see you guys soon.
This is a
Thank you for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
This is crazy.
Nice to see you guys. I just want you to come home, Chris.
I know.
So, what a cool moment, man. This was,
man,
listen, I haven't known
shit.
you as long as these guys have, but I felt the connection because of our mutual friends that you live near in your neighborhood in North Carolina. So I've been hearing about you for a long time. And I think this thing that stood out to me the most is how much your teammates, how much your coaches talked about you as a man and how much you helped them stand tall and them battle through tough times as they did about your, what I think is a future Hall of Fame career. Pretty awesome, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I remember watching you as a fan for years. It's really cool to be able to get to know you in this setting and like kind of be coworkers with, my heroes, and you were absolutely one of them. And I don't know, it's just amazing to see clearly the impact that you've had, not just your amazing career, but you as a human being, as a father, as a teammate, it's so much more important than all this. But anyone who touches this sport, at the end of the day, wants to be remembered. They want to make sure that 100 years from now, when people are talking about the legends and there's a history book, that their name is in it. That's everybody's goal, and you did that. And there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. But to go out there and to be someone who will be remembered for the rest of history is everyone's goal, and you achieved it, and you were an amazing human being on top of it. I'm just excited to know you. And congratulations. That's what this should be, is a congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big,
I
big
appreciate
deal.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, Chris, it's one thing to know someone, and it's one thing to share a background. It's another thing to ride the ride at the same time, right? And you and I rode the ride at the same time as champions. You defended your belt on the same night that I won my very first championship. And even though I was older than you, I kind of took something from you because you were the guy that had all the expectation and you lived up to it. And I didn't know that was possible, especially after setbacks. Man, I've watched you from the very start of this thing in fighting to watching you start to do TV, and you're perfect for these situations on the television couch, and you're perfect in fighting. You're a great father and husband. You really have been more than I ever thought that you would mean to me in this life. And that's why I hurt when you got hurt. That's why I was proud whenever you got back up, because that's what you do. You always did that. I stood in that arena when you fought Anderson Silva, and they all were cheering for the Brazilian on Independence Day, and I screamed America at the top of my lungs because you made us all feel like we were a part of you. So I thank you for taking me on the journey with you as a fan and then becoming a friend. And now we work together, and I hope that you do this TV thing with us for a really long time, because I think you're really good at it.
Thank you.
I think you got a bright future in this, man. Don't be sad. I swear to God, it feels like when we walk away, it feels like the end. But I promise you, for guys like us, and it's not like that for many, but for guys like you that can do this, the other side is not as bad as you think. I promise you, you're in for a great ride.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
That means a lot, brother. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. Yeah, and I mean, I could talk about DC too, but it's gonna get weird. Yeah. He's been a mentor, for me since the beginning. So it's real cool that we got to share those experiences, and to be around him. I had him in such high regard, from his wrestling days up until he started fighting, and it's been cool to now to be able to call him a friend. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome. This whole thing, man, this is very humbling for me to have this much love, and all this was set up real fast. They had like a day's notice, and to spend this much time on me is really, really humbling, and I'm super grateful.
You deserve it.
What an amazing moment. We do have some work to get to. We do have to finish this show.
Please,
Weidman, after
let's
this
get off the
celebration,
Weidman
if it's okay
train.
with you.
Yeah.
And by the way, you got a long career in television, my friend. The first time you came on the show, I said, this dude's a natural. He could probably do my job. Let's slow it down a little bit. Angela Hill, another young lady who's very good on television and good in the octagon, joining us now.
Good, how are you?
What's going on? How are you? What's going on?
Good job on your news.
Thank you.
I'm dreading the day that it happens. But
finally,
hello.
How are
Yeah,
you?
good. Yeah, I just want to say, amazing career.
Thank you.
And you're an inspiration. I was in New York doing Muay Thai when you got your big knockout and your big win over Anderson Silva, and it's just we were practicing. We called it the. Can you cuss on this show?
Yeah.
We called it the asshole check. We were practicing that after you got that big finish with him, and it's just really cool to see you still here and still thriving. And I know you're gonna be super happy after it's all said and done. But I don't know. Is it cool to have it in this kind of round table?
Oh yeah.
Atmosphere. I feel like
this is cool. To have this, to be able to announce it on this I couldn't think of a better way, to be honest.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome, really cool.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I didn't expect this. This is a lot. This is amazing. Yeah, thank you.
I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy you're here.
No,
yeah,
that's awesome.
It's awesome. And you got a fight coming up, right? You got a big fight coming up soon?
Yeah, next month.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so not too much shawarma for me.
Yes. Yeah, sorry about that.
Catlin Souza, did I have that correct?
Yeah, Catlin Souza.
And that's going to be where?
At the Apex. Yeah, so I'm excited when the Apex does its revamp. I could get some LED lights.
There you go.
There we go.
You know, like big screens and stuff.
So what have you been doing to get ready? How are you feeling going in?
Just training. I train in San Diego, so I have like a good girl group there. A lot of chicks come through, and we train at different spots. But yeah, just running, doing my sparring, getting all my reps in, watching tape, getting ready for this girl, and yeah, I'm really excited.
Well, I'm sure you heard about the main event change here for tomorrow. Renato Moicano getting the chance of a lifetime to step in for Arman in the main event and fight Islam Makhachev. What are your thoughts on that change?
Man, I know he's a huge underdog, but there's one thing, when you get that opportunity, then there's always that, I guess, that factor, that just like wow factor where you can come in and get the big upset. So I feel like there's a few things that Moicano does that could throw Islam off his game, like just pressuring forward, really getting in people's faces, always threatening with stuff, but you got to wonder what he's going to do because his main force of attack is grappling. So you have to wonder like what kind of approach he's going to do. But if anything, getting that last minute call is just going to make him go wild.
So he has about, 24 hours or so to figure it out, and he'll be out there in front of all of us. All right, we are in Hollywood, essentially. We're actually in Inglewood, which is about 15 minutes away from Hollywood. Let's talk UFC fighters who could be movie stars. You're playing this game with us, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with Senko. We're going to make our way around. Angela, you're going to go last, so that's actually good because you can hear what everybody else says and then tell them how dumb they are. All right, Senko, go ahead.
At number 1, I have Ilia Topuria. If you don't look at that man and see a Spanish James Bond, then you're absolutely crazy. He could be some sort of super spy in any major blockbuster movie. Number 2, Dricus du Plessis. I don't know if everybody up here knows this, but the man can also sing.
Yes,
He's
I saw
got the
that.
Hollywood
Yes.
look. I haven't seen him act, but he can sing, and that's halfway there. So I'm going to put Dricus on my list. And then I've got Alexander Volkanovski, because those skits that he does on TikTok are legitimately funny, and that takes some great comedic timing, and that takes acting. So there's my list.
All right, I'm going to go.
What'd you say, little Florida boy?
Is that Volkanovski?
It's from his skit.
What'd you say, little Florida boy?
That's great. I'm going 3, Ilia Topuria. I agree. He is the Spanish James Bond. Number 2, Alex Pereira. I mean, I think he's getting asked to be in all these different Hollywood movies because he's the ultimate bad guy. He's the scary guy. He doesn't have to talk. Look at the love he has in the UFC and the fan base without really speaking the language. It's I don't think that's ever been done before. So I got Alex Pereira's 2, and then Conor McGregor. I mean, there's nobody that we've ever seen with a personality and could talk the way he does. He's already been in a big movie and he did great. So I think the sky's the limit for him.
I knew you were going to have Conor, so I didn't put Conor on my list. Number 1 for me is Kamaru Usman. He has already been in a major motion picture, did a nice job. Talk about the Spanish James Bond. Carlos Olberg, I mean, this guy, like make a romance novel into a movie, he's the star.
Yeah, great physique.
Henry Cejudo could be like the miniature nutty professor. I could see him playing like, I mean, Henry Cejudo could be anything. He's kind of my
nutty professor.
he's my wild card pick.
You called him a little person.
All right, you guys ready for mine?
Yeah.
And this is the one that makes the most sense in the world. How about the 3 guys that are actually in stuff right now? Really? Max Holloway was in Dinner Thieves. Stop. Max Holloway's in Dinner Thieves. He's in Dinner Thieves 2. John Jones is literally on a show on Netflix right now about a fighter. And then how about Cyril Gane? He turned down an opportunity to fight for the interim title because he was filming a movie. We're talking about people that could be Hollywood stars. How about the people
He's in Den of Thieves too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how about the fact that these guys are in actual Hollywood things right now?
I'm impressed that you willingly put John Jones on a list that you didn't have.
That's the truth. Like, he's literally actively on something on Netflix right now.
It's good.
Everyone's watching, right? Well, you have to think stars, right? And not every UFC fighter can do the speaking parts. Like, how was John Jones? How was it?
He was
Tell me-
amazing.
Oh, he was?
you watched it?
Wow.
You
I mean, they're all just amazing.
What are you doing there?
So much.
Yeah, he didn't do it. You got to call him out sometime.
So, non-speaking roles, I agree. Alex Pereira, I think number one. That's my pick. I feel like he could be a henchman in any movie.
100%.
Just show up with the gun in his pocket, just kill
grunt.
everyone. Yeah, grunt, kill people, walk out.
You put yourself.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Ruin it.
I didn't know the list was gonna be on TV. I wanted to surprise you guys. Number two, Derek Lewis. He could have a show called My Balls Is Hot.
Yes.
You know, like he could just do comedy, any type of like buddy cop movie. He could be in a buddy cop movie with Alex Pereira. I think that would be like a number one hit. And then finally, number three, yours truly, Angela Hill.
I like it.
I'm working on my reel right now,
She's putting herself out
we'll
there.
see.
All right, Hollywood.
Very smart.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're not too
How
far from
Angie
Hollywood.
gets her groove back is coming
I
out
should have
next
put
year.
myself on my list.
That's awesome.
You should have put it out there in the universe.
Yeah.
It's active fighters, DC. You could have been on.
Well, here's the problem. Like, there's two people up here that are extremely attractive.
Thank you.
And they
I
both
appreciate
are
that.
of the chocolate skin color. I mean, that's just like it. They both have really nice
I was
skin
hoping I was in there.
It's the cocoa butter.
It's the cocoa butter, man. Black don't crack.
Hey.
You know what I mean? We don't crack. Black don't crack, and you definitely cracking all over your face. Look at it.
I know.
No, I think he looks good today.
Well, I
It's
think you
dry.
look- you're
It's
60.
dry in Los Angeles right now.
I think
okay.
the Botox is working.
Oh my God! At this point,
Really
Helly's
big
just
change.
At this point, Helly's
You
just
know what?
drinking Botox.
Yeah.
I'm just battered and bruised all over my body.
You know
from
when a
the
guy gets
verbal
on
assault.
TRT and you see a change? in
Oh
him?
my God! Yeah.
That's him with the Botox.
I know. I'm almost.
Dan's
getting
like,
ready
hey,
for
can you get one like right here up in this area? Dan's like spreading his face to
You
get
notice
the
his head?
Botox.
You notice when he was crying, and there was nothing up there. It was
That
like-
kid cried.
tears were just coming down. No movement.
Hey,
Yeah.
we haven't played any games until now.
Okay.
Okay, it's time. We're going to wrap up the show. We're going over, and this is. Take a look at what we have going on behind us.
Oh man.
What do we call this? This is the white. Oh,
Do I
this is
bring,
white
do I bring the belt with me since I won so far?
Yeah.
All right.
It might weigh you down.
Take this shit off my headset, right?
All right, play a little wipeout.
Oh my gosh.
Helly's son is gonna be like, why do you do this show, dude? All they do is mess with you. Hey, all we do is mess with your father, man. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry you have to see that. He's the best.
This is so scary.
They're in your pockets, okay? There might pop both
I'm
of them.
terrified.
Blow up. Possibly get hurt.
Those are metal bars in there.
Okay.
All right, who's going for it?
All right, I'll leave this down
Are you,
here.
oh, are we just all getting in there?
Everyone in.
We're all playing at the
Let's go.
same time.
Okay.
Oh, we have to be on a podium.
So it has to be 2 feet out. Let's just get the rules right. 2 feet.
Okay.
Socks are so slippery.
I want to be
Can't
next.
get past this thing.
Oh, this thing's like.
I feel like
That's hard.
Are we? Wait, are we
This
starting?
thing is hard.
Okay, when do we start it? When do we start?
Oh shit!
Oh, shit.
Well, there we go. Sorry. Here we go.
So Laura has
DC,
a lot of
we're
experience
dead.
on this. I feel like
This
this
is
is
not,
trouble.
it's not really easy to jump
Oh,
in.
shit.
Oh, my question.
Mine doesn't even
Wait, I
say.
need my
I
socks
need
on.
mine
Changes.
the bootleg one.
It's kind of bullshit.
It like stops and gets you. I want to know who's
Oh, I gotta go
working
shoot.
it.
Ah,
So you can just stay strong.
Well, you can't just stay strong.
Wow. This is hard.
Hey.
I was better before I started drinking.
Okay.
All right.
Are we going for real?
Socks, that helps.
Here we go.
I just want it on record. I haven't fallen yet.
Wait, this thing is
Did
moving.
I fall?
Whoa.
Lower.
All right, here we go.
I'm still
Good
in.
job, Weidman.
I'm out.
DC's out.
Damn it! Let's go.
What's supposed to last? Are you out too?
Okay, that doesn't count, right?
Why is it slowing and stopping? Whoa, freaking me out.
Easy.
Oh, God, I'm dead. All right, you gotta go pick up the speed a little bit.
All right, I think I got it. Someone has to jump over the tall one.
I'm gonna go under the short one.
Yeah. Oh,
Please go faster, sir. Weidman!
Only one
Weidman's
foot.
out!
No.
Weidman's out!
One foot.
Nope. You quit 2 sports today.
Look, he's like video.
Yes, and out.
Oh, this guy. Where's the guy? Spanish. He speaks Spanish.
Rápido. Rápido.
Hey.
Ooh, I put it too slow.
Went slower.
Yeah.
Does that oh shit!
Hey, look who got the controls.
Switch it up. How do you change it? How do you change it? How do you go the other way?
Oh, Angie's out.
Oh, am I out now? Okay. I think I was out like 10 minutes ago.
Slow. Cowboy. Okay, slow.
Is that it? Get him fast.
Yeah, can't do it.
My feet are still on.
That was a lie.
Oh my God.
I thought my cardio was better. Mine wasn't on the Velcro.
Ambush.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Get him.
This guy can jump.
Crank it up.
Now.
Crank it. He'll get tired.
Get him. All right. RJ's our big winner. Let's get the belt.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job, RJ.
Oh my God.
Angela, you lasted much longer than anticipated.
You were making me look good.
Some people become UFC champions.
Oh my goodness.
Some guys become gold medalists.
Triangle. You were done.
Only one of us do it.
I can feel it.
You were in our.
I can feel
How
it.
tired are you right now?
I'm exhausted.
He
I'm glad
fell
I did
over.
my box jumps
Hellcat
today.
falls out of the thing over the top of the. It ends up in an arm triangle.
Did you?
That's just
on top of me.
He was in an arm triangle, Wyman.
Oh my God.
That is awesome.
Angela, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I got my workout
You did a
today.
great job.
Thanks.
And Weidman,
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
we can't wait to work with you a whole lot more, man.
Let's go.
What an awesome career. And congratulations to RJ, winning the belt for the first time in a long time.
You know, some guys win championship belts in fighting. Some people win it in.
How tired are you right now?
Oh, you gotta go to break. There's only one guy pissed about today's announcement. That's Dean Thomas, because now that chair's never gonna be. Sorry, Dean.
Poor Dean.
That's probably true. All right, huge fight coming up in the main event. A new fight that we did not expect with Renato Moicano now fighting for the title. As we take a look at what went down here today. There's
My
RJ.
Velcro was loose. That's the only reason I fell.
Weidman, what a moment.
Yeah, you too. Congrats on everything.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Thank you.
And Weidman won the contest, by the way, after missing the Japanese flag.
That's true.
That was amazing.
That's true. I had 3 guys off.
That was amazing.
Don't worry about me.
And there's the screen grab.
Got you with Tajikistan.
You did.
I feel like the
You came back out of nowhere to get the victory. From the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California, UFC 311. Main card on pay-per-view, early prelims on FX and ESPN Plus. Weidman,
real tear.
Little misty-eyed. Got us all misty-eyed there, brother.
Hey, butt cheek.
Oh, that's just bad. That's just really, really bad. But it's going to be good on Saturday. Thanks for rolling with us on the weigh-in show, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.